Alright, it's time! Another week, ZTGD Radio. This is episode 744. Is it 30 days in September? It's May 1st, 2023. Yes, holy shit, I had to think about that.
I had to do that too. 30 days has September, April, June, and okay, yep, I know what it is.
We're good. April's got 30 days, so yeah, it's May. Oh God, it's May. Holy shit. Alright. But on the show this week, we got everybody. We got Anthony.
Yeah, I'm here.
We got Drew.
When you actually are getting like wood and stuff, like you can come off.
Man, I
the
hate
ship.
it here.
Yeah, I'm here.
We got Terrence, as you can tell.
Yeah, I'm here. I am back from building my community. I'm coming off the ship.
Got the Wombat too. What up, Duck?
What's up, Duck? Can we rock?
Absolutely.
There we go.
Anyway, talk about it. So this is going to be a hell of a show.
ZTGD Radio, 100% less listenable now that we have the soundboard.
Right.
Just, nobody adds any new sounds at least.
What's 0% minus 100%?
I don't know.
46.
We actually owe people time back.
I think that's true. I do think that's true. Yeah, we got a lot of shit to cover this week. We got Microsoft fucking up again. We got Redfall. We got Jedi. We got some Jedi discussions to have.
Don't worry, I put a video out with me doing a dumbass face on YouTube every fucking 4 minutes. Talk about new things that I'm proven wrong by,
before your video even gets uploaded?
Yeah.
Like, I believe the
make
video
that
up,
sweet
though.
revenue bucks.
That's right, because I'm leaving the video up because I wouldn't make any money otherwise. Dumbasses.
That's right.
But we'll kick it off with Drew. What's up?
Okay. What's up?
That's what we need a soundbite of.
I know, right?
How
we
long
need
you
some
gotta go
Gamba
back?
sound bites.
How long you gotta go back for that? Like,
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple years. So we finished up our last Phoenix Down game, which was Halo Reach. That's probably the best Halo game I've ever played.
It's a good one.
You and I are in agreement on that.
And mainly because I am never invested in Halo. I played a good amount of them. And every time a cutscene happens, my eyes just kind of glaze over, and I'm just like,
Green
I
guy
don't
shooting
care
alien.
about this.
That's the story.
Spaceman shoot shit. That's all I do. And I don't know. It's but with Reach, I mean, we said it on Phoenix Down. I think I said it here too. Master Chief sucks. Master Chief has always kind of sucked. He's boring. He's a one-dimensional character. I had more feelings about these Noble Team guys than I ever did with Master Chief because they gave them a personality. Even if it was a shallow personality, you got the big tough guy who has a heart of gold. You have the leader who's always, you have Leonardo, you got Michelangelo, Dante, you got those people, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But it made certain deaths meaningful because, well, spoiler alert, nobody survives Reach. And even the main character you're playing as, you never even learn what his name is. He's Noble Six, and when he dies, it makes for a very powerful moment.
The ending sequence is one of my favorites of all time. Not just
it's
in
really
Halo.
good.
It's so good.
Great.
It's really good. Yeah, they give you the mission objective of survive.
Yep.
Yep.
And
So good.
It's really good. It's really good.
And then Bungie stopped making Halo.
And that was
right.
Bungie's last Halo game. So, I don't know. I enjoyed my time with it. And the thing is, and I mentioned it on Phoenix Down, Halo plays a lot differently than any other first-person shooter. And I kept hearkening back to Doom 2016 because Doom 2016 is more my style of game, where they want you to push forward. They want you to get up in a dude's face and blast him with a shotgun, or get up in a guy's face and glory kill to get some health, or kill him with a chainsaw to get some ammo. The things in that game that make the gameplay loop, it's almost perfect. And in Halo, it's one of those, you have to be more tactical. And I would say the first half of this game, I was like dying a lot, and I was only playing on normal. And I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. The last 2 missions of that game, I think it finally clicked for me. I know what I need to do. Obviously, I need to be more tactical with my stuff. If you got 3 elites there, yeah, I can easily take out one of them, but if I try and bum rush the other 2, I'm screwed. So the game really does push you to regroup, go behind something, go look for another weapon, go get some more ammo, let your shields recharge, something like that. And I hate the fact that I learned how to play this game the last 2 missions of the game, but that's okay. Reach is actually kind of a short game, or at least it seems like it was short compared to all the other Phoenix Down games we've been doing. Like a Dragon is 40 hours, while this is a maybe solid 6 or 7. So I don't know. It was definitely a breath of fresh air for me. Just going into a shorter game where I still had a decent time with the story and with the combat and stuff like that. So finish that one up.
6 to 10 hour games are overrated or underrated. We need more of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we do.
And the thing is like this game came out in 2010. At the time, that was the latest Halo game, so it had like a robust multiplayer that I didn't even touch. So there was more to do after the story. So
yeah, that multiplayer, it has a different mode in Reach, and that's probably my favorite multiplayer mode that Halo has, and they have not brought that back.
Why would they?
What is?
Well, I mean, I guess it was Bungie, so
yeah.
What was the mode?
It's like this Warzone kind of. Well, actually, I guess they kind of did do it.
I thought that was
Guardians.
in 4. Like with the NPCs.
Like big team battle?
Yeah, no, not big.
No,
team battle.
not the big team battles.
It was like the one with the cards where you could get like vehicles and stuff. That was
that was 4. That was in 5.
Was that 5?
That was 5.
Oh, was it 5?
That was 5.
Yeah.
That was 5.
Okay, mine then. All right.
Yeah, that wasn't Reach.
It was almost like MOBA-ish.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah. Yeah, that was in
Big
that
Team
was in
Battle
5.
was my fucking jam. The Sandcrawler level. Oh goddamn.
Yeah, Big Team Battle is always fun.
Oh, Big Team Battle. Halo 2. Let's fucking go. Oh.
I just need a sword and a shotgun. I'm good.
Man. Yeah, you're getting all in their faces. But yeah, I'll finish that up. Enjoyed my time with it, and I guess I can announce it now. I am getting a new job. In fact, this week will be my final week with my previous job, and
I was just about to do it. Congrats!
Thank you. It's a big change for me, and I'm happy, excited, nervous, scared, shitting my pants, all of it, because it's a huge.
Is the thing.
Yeah, it's always like that.
It's a huge change for me. I've been at my job for 16 years, so this is a massive change, but I think it's in the right direction. And so the first week I'll be training at my site. The second and third week I will be traveling to Florida, where I will be cooped up in a hotel training at my headquarters site.
Man, Florida's got like 100 tornadoes right now.
Yeah, right. So,
Jesus.
So not only will I have to deal with that, I'll have to deal with tornadoes and alligators and all sorts of stuff.
You ever stayed in a hotel
DeSantis.
like that? Like over a period of time?
No.
It sucks. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah, just for vacation stuff.
No one else is going to say it. If you have the opportunity to try Gator, try Gator. It's actually pretty good.
I've had alligator
I've
before.
had it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good, but it's tough. Kind of tough.
It's very tough. Yeah, it's very tough.
Yeah.
But so because I'm going to be traveling, I'm going to be bringing my Switch with me. Get a lot of Switch games in. In fact, our next Phoenix Down game, we were originally going to do Greedfall, but I don't want to get into a multi-hour RPG and then have to stop for 2 weeks because I will not have access to my Xbox. So we decided to switch it up, and we're going to be doing Finding Paradise, which is the sequel to the Moon, which we had done previously. So we're going to be doing Finding Paradise. I have it on the Switch. So I'm going to be doing that. And I said, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to jump into The Legend of Zelda, because I've never actually played through Breath of the Wild. So I started that up this week. And talk about, it's some kind of weird series going on right now where I'm playing games that have unconventional control schemes. Because Halo Reach definitely has a different control scheme than what I'm used to. Breath of the Wild, I feel like I'm pressing a button and learning what it does for the first time. Every time I play that game. It's partially because confirm is the A button, which is actually what the B button is on the Xbox controller. Run is the bottom button, which that's normally a jump button. Well, nope. Jump in Zelda is actually the top button, which I guess is the X button, which is Y on the Xbox controller. I'm trying to.
That's the only problem I have about playing games on Switch is you have to literally unlearn the controls that you're used to from, because it's all opposite. Like you said, the Y and X is opposite, the A and B is, and it's so confusing. Jump into Switch.
It is, yeah. But even just controlling the game, there's so many things you got to remember. Like, holding up on the D-pad changes what, rune you're using, the ability you're using. Holding right on the D-pad changes your weapon. Holding left on the D-pad changes your shield. And then I think down on the D-pad is just a whistle. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally whistled at somebody whenever I'm trying to just switch weapons. And I'm like, well, that just ruined it. So,
well, eventually you'll get the arrow changing too.
Yeah, see, I've already got multiple different arrows, but I don't know how to change the arrows. I don't think I've got that tutorial
you just hold
yet.
it. I think you hold it down and then you can cycle through them.
Gotcha. And then you're pressing different buttons, like the R button to ready up a skill, and then you change your skills, and then you want to pull out your shield, you got to hold this button, and I don't even know what right trigger does. I can't. Oh, it pulls out an arrow. You get ready to shoot an arrow. There's just a.
If you press like 40 different buttons, you can jump on your shield and skateboard down a hill.
Yeah, and I just still don't know how to do that. So
that's not an easy one to pull off.
It's not. Yeah. Like I played like 45, 50 hours of that game, and I still couldn't do it.
Well, I could eventually, but it was such a pain in the ass, and it's so useless.
It is, because it just breaks your shield. So.
Yep. Yeah, if you have a shitty enough shield, you literally land and it breaks, and then fucking you watch Link ragdoll down the side of a hill.
Yep. I love that game though. That game was so fun.
But yeah, I don't. So I have to ask. I'll ask you guys, and I'll ask the community, whoever actually listens to this. What should I upgrade? Should I upgrade my hearts, or should I upgrade my stamina?
I say you go with the stamina first, just because there's so much more exploration you can do. So
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, the more stamina you have, the better off you're going to be, especially for like gliding, climbing, swimming, things like that.
You can so like the best recommendation I have for you early on, upgrade your stamina to having. See, I can't remember how many rings you end up getting.
I think it's 3, right? 3 total?
I think so.
I think you're right.
So I think the best thing is at least get another half of a ring of stamina before you start upgrading hearts, because you can horse shit your way through with extra hearts, the temp hearts, by hunting down hardy bass, anything that's got hardy in the name of it. Because I think there's hardy pumpkins and stuff too. Anything that has that, when you cook it, it makes a hearty meal, and that gives you temp hearts, and some of those give you like 20 temp hearts. Yeah. It's absurd.
Yeah.
I got a couple like hardy mushrooms or something like that, so I haven't really explored that. The thing about this game, and that's the thing I saw the trailer, the little gameplay trailer that they did for Tears of the Kingdom, and I think they really do push that. Like, holy crap, I can actually do that in this game. So I've ran into that too. Everything in this game is interactable. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like if you can chop down trees and like you see like a butterfly flying. No, you can actually capture that, and it's an ingredient and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man,
my favorite of those is the catching the grass on fire to create an updraft, so you can use your glider to go up in the air.
Yeah, yeah. So there's
people still discovering shit with that game.
Yeah,
I watch some people play it on Twitter, and it's like I don't even understand how it came to your mind that you could be able to do what you just did.
Yeah,
I watched somebody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought because you're talking about the Twitter still. So
I was just going to say I saw somebody the other day who was up on a hill. They were on like a big metal slab. They hit it a whole bunch of times with the stasis power.
Yeah, stasis. Yeah.
Yeah, and then let it go. It launched them off, flew them in the air over top of one of the big Cyclops things, and as they were falling down, they shot the Cyclops in the eye. And I'm like, now, how does it even cross your mind that that's a sequence of events that you would try? But it's the game lets you do it, and it looks like, to your point, Drew, that this new one's going to be even more of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
No, so one of my favorites was like very early on when the game came out. The gal, I don't know who actually did it. They stasis to stone, like a giant rock, hit it a bunch of times, had Link grab onto the side of the rock. The rock then flew right into Ganon's castle. Okay.
Holy crap.
You know what I mean? Like, at some point you just go, fucking goddamn.
That's how the speedrunners do it.
Yeah. Speedrunners beat that game in like 15 minutes or some shit. It's crazy.
I was crazy, so I played it on Wii U, and I wanted to see if I could upgrade all the armor to max. And eventually, when you start getting into the whole, I need more shooting stars, you go, maybe I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, but the first time you see that dragon, it's so fucking rad. Just walking along.
So I can tell you two very specific scenarios that I like. That's the one thing I will say about Breath of the Wild, and it'll probably happen with Tears of the Kingdom as well. There are no story beats that stick out in like a oh my god sort of feeling. But the first time I ran across a dragon on the eastern shoreline, there's like you can kind of climb up these cliffs, and there's like a waterfall coming down, and the green dragon, I believe, comes out of the waterfall. And I was up there, and it's like, oh, it's starting to get stormy. Oh, I have all this metal equipment. I need to take cover. So I took cover. And as I'm taking cover, the fucking green dragon comes out of the waterfall, and I immediately went, I'm fucked. I thought it was going to attack me, and then it flew away. But I remember being like, that was a big fear there that I had, and I was like, whoa, wow, okay, that's kind of crazy. The other one is the first time I saw lightning in the game at all. I think it's sort of near Kakariko village there. And I walked out, and there's just a plane with like swords that are stuck in like the swamp or whatever. And lightning started to pick up and was hitting points in this swamp. And when I got up to one of them, I realized it was rusted swords, and that's when all the armor started to like shine on Link, and I was like, uh-oh. And had to run out. And it's stuff like that was really interesting with Breath of the Wild. But like, you know, all the stuff that everybody's going to go through and do the same way, which are the temples or whatever, the divine beasts.
Yeah.
Man, those were boring stuff. Like, honestly, I could watch just videos of people doing Eventide Island in different ways and be fascinated, because it's so open. And that's kind of what I'm excited for with the new game. I know a lot of people are like looking at the vehicle thing going, oh, please God, no. But I can't wait to see what the fuck people build to overcome obstacles.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, that game is game's nuts. It's just me. Like, it's one of those games that you're going to have to play a lot to just finally like have instinct of know what buttons do what. And yeah, I don't know. Like I'm enjoying my time with it. You know, I'm doing some shrines and stuff like that. I went the wrong way. Like as soon as I left the plateau, I went
really
somewhere.
No
Well, I ran into a monster that one shotted me.
a Lionel.
I don't know what it was. It looked like a ghost that shot things at me.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember those. The running into those, the Lionels or the big
Lionels.
the tentacle monsters, the robots.
Oh, the Guardians.
The Guardians, like
Guardians.
those things will fuck you up.
Yeah. So I was like, obviously, I don't need to be here now. In fact, I was trying to get to a tower, and I got to the tower, and I was like, there's no stopping points to this tower, and I can't climb this without running out of stamina. Oh, I don't know why I'm here.
Yep.
Oh, you fucking ran into a whiz robe.
Oh yeah, those things suck.
Yeah, because you really need elements to fight those easily.
Yeah, they turn invisible, and you can see like their footsteps or whatever.
Oh no! Was it did it look like a person still with a mask on?
It looked kind of like a ghost person with a mask on, and you can see its footsteps that float.
You fought. Oh, I think you fought a Yiga foot soldier, which are even bigger motherfuckers in that game, because they'll start showing up as random NPCs too. Is that it, Drew?
No. This one was floating. It could fly.
Okay, so it was a whiz robe. Okay.
Yeah. So but yeah, I like. All right, so tell me this then. I played this game on the Wii U back in the day, and I made it to one of the Divine Beasts. I never actually did the Divine Beast. I just kind of stopped. Is there a suggestion on which Divine Beast to do first?
Probably. So the Zora one is kind of the one that I think is.
That's the one that I went to.
That's the one that they kind of guide you towards. The reason why it's good to go to that one first is that the power you get is the extra life, essentially. Power.
Where she brings you back, yeah.
Where she brings you back. It has a long recharge time, but you at least get another shot. And then I'd argue that the next one to go to would be the birds.
I did that one last. I did the desert one second.
Yeah, I did it the same order you're talking about, Anthony. I did the Zora, the bird, the Gerudo, and then
Goron.
No. Actually, I did the
volcano
first, and then the Gerudo one.
Crazy. I did the desert one second, the volcano one third, the bird one last.
Yeah, bird. So I went elephant, bird, camel, volcanic lizard thing.
Yeah, that was the one that I did. That's the order that I did.
And the reason being is that honestly, the benefits you get from the Zora and the I want to keep Ravio is I believe the name of the character, but I don't remember what the birds people are called.
I don't remember either.
It's the same name as they are in Wind Waker. And I still can't remember. The bonus you get for that, or the skill you get from that, is probably the second best in my opinion, because I don't even remember what the other two are. I think the Gerudo one is an offensive ability that I barely used.
No, it's that shield thing, right?
No, that's the Goron one.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah.
The Goron one.
The Gerudo one. Yeah, the Gerudo one is the electric. It powers your attacks up with electric.
Right. Yeah, and I barely used that. And I barely used the protection one from the Gorons. Because I think more than anything, outside of making sure you don't die, the benefits of movement and ability to get away are the things you want to focus on early on. Honestly, this game has like a weird difficulty curve where it's really difficult at the beginning, and then it gets much easier, like absurdly easy at a certain point, and then it dips fucking again and gets really difficult as it starts spawning harder enemies in the overworld. Like, I remember trying to fucking fight this bokoblin or whatever the fuck it was that was silver, and it was doing a lot of damage. And then it gets easy again. It's a very weird game that way.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to try and play a little bit more of it. And obviously, when I'm sitting there in my hotel room, bored out of my mind, I'll be playing that and Finding Paradise.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I'll move on to you, Anthony.
All right, Yakuza 0 still. I actually started continuing on with the story. I played also a little bit of Dragon Quest Treasures, but not enough to really say much more than I really like the world that they're building in that. It's weird. I like the Dragon Quest games, but when you get to explore the world more than just like an overworld map, I really, really enjoy those ones because I know Akira Toriyama's got like 4 faces that he does for people, and that's a shame and all. But his monster designs are fantastic and they're a lot of fun. They're just really good cartoon characters. So anything that kind of puts you alongside monsters all the time, like the Dragon Quest Monsters series and like Rocket Slime, which is my favorite Dragon Quest game ever. It's going to be a good time. I really like the tone. It's more kid friendly, like Ryan said in his review. But I think Dragon Quest benefits from stuff like that. Like the main series can be a little darker, while all the tertiary stuff is just like, yeah, bigger fans of the series are going to love this, as well as kids, which I think the art style of all the Dragon Quest games brings in. And then the last game I can talk about that I've played is Nuclear Blaze.
Yes, I reviewed this game.
I really fucking like this game.
It's good. It's really short, and I don't like the fact that the flames are like random. Like
they're not really random.
Well,
sometimes
they spawn in a way that is not conducive to progression.
You didn't get them. I thought that too, and then I'm like, oh no, there's literally like a level to the flames that if you don't get them fully, they will respark. It's just like a shimmer on things. I really like the game. I like the fact that like it plays you. You go through the game. It's pretty easy. You finish it. But there's like a SCP stuff going on. Like literally, they call it SCP. It's weird. Like the fucking music's brilliant. I love the pixel art in this as well. But then once you're done, it unlocks Hold My Beer mode. And the character says something as he jumps out of the plane about, like, yeah, mission control, hold my beer. And he jumps out, and you play through a different sort of campaign. Like, it goes through the same areas, but the way you traverse it is different. And I love the fact that, like, the developer included a kid mode, because he was like, yeah, my 3-year-old wanted to play, and he's like a big fan of firefighters, so I started building a game for firefighters and then realized it was too complex, so then I kind of added kid mode, and you can't die, the levels are easier, water is infinite, water is auto-aimed, controls are simplified, and helicopters and trucks everywhere because kids love them. And I'm like, what else has this guy done? Because this is very good, and this is the only thing that he has is Deep Night Games. He was the lead designer before he left the company for it's fucking really, god damn it, the fucking Metroidvania Souls-like roguelite that everybody loved, Dead Cells.
Yeah, like I mentioned that in my review.
Yeah, okay. Couldn't remember the fucking name of it, and you just let me fucking suffer, really?
I had to think about it myself.
Okay, good. And then I'm not alone. But yeah, Dead Cells. So he was the lead developer of Dead Cells, and I really liked Nuclear Blaze a lot. I think that's a great game. I do plan on finishing it with all the cats, because I want to see what the fuck that unlocks.
Yeah, collecting cats is a funny thing.
Yeah, you save cats. I thought that was a pretty cute, collectible. Yeah. And that's kind of it. Like, I do wish that game was longer. But I'd play a sequel of that game with the same mechanics, with an actual map rather than level to level. I would go through, like, because I would love to see more of the complex or whatever too.
All right. We can move on to Terrence.
He just wrote BRB, but good job.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just go to Wombat then.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at Discord. I apologize.
So, I have not played a lot.
All right, Terrence, you're up.
No. So I finished again. I'm going to say it as silly as it sounds. The all the main story quests in NBA 2K23.
Okay, that's not where I thought that was going, but all right.
So did you get a mission from your best friend who's dead and also a
No,
ghost?
this one is
That's a
much more. This one is much more grounded in actual NBA reality.
Are you friends with the State Farm guy?
You do meet the State Farm guy.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he asks you to wear the State Farm uniform on one of your pre-game fashion walks.
Of course he does.
You know, as much as it's awful and it's like clearly just more money for 2K while they're, stealing money for this fucking card packs and shit. This shit does happen in real life. So,
it does. Oh, yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah.
I can't hate it too much.
Yeah, so I think I've said before, like, the story in 2K23 is that you got drafted 18th overall, but you got drafted 18th, and the player that went 19th is from the town that you get drafted to and is a much more athletic player than you are. So basically you get drafted there and the entire fan base hates your guts. All of them wish that they had drafted the other player instead, because he's a hometown guy and everybody thinks he's going to be a better player than you. And so the story is about your player playing better on the court to prove that he's the one that should have been drafted, and also like ingratiating himself to the local community to show them that he fits in the city. And so there's three sort of subquests. One of them is to and basically you and your management team talk about it like you're conquering districts. So like there's like the business district where you're trying to get a national endorsement from this coffee company. And so you have to get some other secondary endorsements first and ingratiate yourself to a couple small businesses in the city, and then you eventually get the national coffee commercial. And then there's a fashion district, because fashion, for those of you who don't maybe pay attention to the NBA, fashion's a big deal in the NBA. So there's like a fashion district where you're trying to prove that you know and care about fashion, and you're trying to help a local designer get their stuff made a higher profile. And then there's a music district as well, where you work with some rappers to try to create a musical career for your player.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I actually have two questions, I suppose. You know what? I'll make it three. One,
fine.
what 14th? What does that overall mean? Just the order of who gets picked?
Yeah. Yeah. So you got picked
before this other guy.
Number 18 in the first round, and the guy that they all wanted got picked 19th.
Okay.
So he was on the board still. The team could have taken him, and they took you instead. And so all the fans are pissed.
Okay, so what? Like they could have chosen him for the team. He would have been 18th, and then you would have been 19th.
Correct.
Pick next. Got it. Okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah, and so the first. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, because you're talking about
the first part of that. The first part of the there's in addition to the three subquests I just mentioned, there's another one called Palace Intrigue, where basically the GM didn't want to pick you, but the owner did, and the owner had some statistical people in his ear telling him that he should, and so the GM is trying to basically sabotage your career. So he's trying to make you sit instead of starting you. He's trying to trade you, and so basically you have to play well enough that it would make him look like an idiot if he traded you.
Okay.
So like that piece is a separate subquest where it's more on the court stuff.
That's actually a pretty brilliant story. I have to give
it's
credit.
the best one that they've done in a long time for sure.
Better than the Spike Lee one.
For sure.
Oh my god. And then the other thing I have to ask is like, so this music career and these commercials, like, is your character charismatic, or do they sound like an athlete doing a commercial or trying to sing?
No, he's pretty charismatic.
Ah, god damn it. My favorite.
The rap stuff is bad because it's just like it's a video game trying to replicate freestyle rap. And so you have to like pick which line you think would be the most effective.
No. I didn't realize
it's a game within the game. Yeah, so there's like 4 freestyle rap mini games.
Oh no.
Or I don't want to call it a mini game. 3 freestyle rap mini quests where you have to rap in front of people to prove that you can see the next person up the chain. And so it'll like present you with 2 lines, and then you have to pick one of 4 to be the next line.
Fucking goddamn it!
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting it to be.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh man!
And the ultimate goal is to impress J. Cole enough that J. Cole will do a album with you or track with you. And it's really embarrassing
basketball
because
right now.
Huh?
Isn't J. Cole playing basketball right now?
No. But it's like it's like a what do you call it? It's like a how do you put it? It's lame because you can tell the freestyle raps are really lame, and they're all basketball related, of course. So it's just like extra lame. But then it's even more lame because all of your team and all these people on the fake social media are like, "Oh man, I heard that new track. MP's got bars." That's what they call you, by the way, is MP.
Main player
for my player. So the it's just embarrassing to listen to all these people talk about how you got bars with like the lamest raps that you've ever heard in your life. Bars.
Do they still get the actual players to voice themselves?
They do, yeah. A couple of them.
Oh,
yeah.
God,
and actually,
so bad.
So I'll say though, it's not like the old games. Like they seem to have picked players because you don't get voices from all the players. The ones that have heavy voice acting, like you have a teammate in the college flashbacks that talks a lot, but it's an actor, like an actual actor. And then you have a teammate, or the Shep Owens, who is the guy that everybody thinks should have been drafted instead of you, is a voice actor. It's not a real basketball player. So, like, the ones who have a ton of dialogue do well with the dialogue, and the ones they picked to have, like, a limited amount of dialogue throughout the game also do pretty well with it. Like, there's none of, like, what you used to see in the old games where they were very clearly reading off a cue card.
Yeah.
That's
That's kind of what
better.
I was hoping the ads would be for, like, the pizza chain or whatever. Hello, I'm the basketball star, MP, and I love eating at Subway.
No, but it is funny because they purposely kind of make the coffee commercial cheesy, where they put glasses and a blazer on your player, and he's like looking at the camera somewhat seductively, and he's like, I love drinking coffee, Perco latte. Like it's it's purposely over the top, you can tell. But yeah, what were your other questions, Anthony? You said you had 4, and then you only asked 2.
The 2 and 3. I only had 3, but the 2 and 3 were the how bad was the ad and how bad was the music, and I got those answers.
The music is very bad.
I mean, it's just like part of me wants it to be like your character is well acted when not, on screen in the game, and then as soon as you put them on screen, they're like, "Hello, my name is, you know me from the team."
Right.
And I love eating at Pizza Hut.
No, he's very charismatic. Whoever they got to do the voice for that does a pretty good job. And so the one thing I'll say about that game that they do well is they when your character, I've noticed it with a couple of the characters, but mostly with your own character, like there are times when he like stutters or stumbles over a word that he's trying to say and they leave it in, but it sounds more natural that way. Like it doesn't make it sound like he's a hack. Like it makes it sound like he's genuinely talking and not reading a script. And I wish more games would do that. Because it genuinely comes off as more believable. Because I don't know anybody that talks for 10 minutes and doesn't stumble over a word here or there. So I don't know. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Whether it was purposeful or not, it does come off as believable. It's definitely the best story mode that 2K has done, maybe ever. It's very good.
So there was a game that had possibly the most realistic dialogue, and I don't think anybody ever played it. They're making a sequel that's coming to Netflix. It's called Oxenfree.
Yeah, I did not play that.
The dialogue in Oxenfree is like you can tell the actors are like talking like we are. Yeah, they're in the same room and they're also like, stamming over their words kind of thing and stuff like that. And it makes it sound more believable. Oxenfree did it, and then another game that was from the same company, After Party, they did it like that too.
What I liked about
Like After
very
Party.
little of Oxenfree that I played is that you can just say nothing.
Yeah, you can say nothing, or you can interrupt people while they're talking.
There's a whole achievement for getting through the game saying nothing.
Yep. That game is actually really cool.
Yeah, so that's more than I expected to talk about NBA this week. But I also finished the main story on Dragon Quest VI. And so now I'm in the post game, and I had got myself gassed up because grinding on Dragon Quest VI is relatively easy. I'll say there's just a ton of it. But there's an area, the final area in the game, you can find King Metal Slimes or Metal King Slimes, and they're worth 30,000 experience points apiece. So you can grind pretty well there. But as I mentioned before, the jobs are number of battles, not experience points. So you still got to fight a whole bunch of battles to level up jobs. But anyway, I decided that I was going to try to take on the super boss, basically. That's there's a post game super boss that you can choose to fight, and if you can beat him in 20 turns, you get a special ending for the game. The problem is, I finished the game at level 42 or 43, and most of the things I'm seeing online suggest you are at least in the high 60s before you fight this boss. I've tried to fight him a couple times, once in the high 40s and once in the mid 50s, and in the mid 50s I at least probably got him halfway, but he is fucking hard. He can attack 3 times a turn, and he has 13,000 HP. And so my characters in the 50s have the highest one has like 500 HP. So it's hard. So, it's nice because it's on my phone, so it's easy for me to just grind for a little while I'm waiting on something. But I may end up giving up. I'm not sure I want to grind another 15 levels just for an optional final boss. But we'll see. He is a real pain in the ass. So Dragon Quest VII is the next one on my list for that. It's going to be a little tougher because Dragon Quest VII never came out on mobile in the States. And so I'll have to play it on my 3DS. And it's obviously not as easy for me to bring my 3DS everywhere and, grind while I've got a little bit of downtime as it is my phone. So, and my understanding is that 7 is the biggest one yet in terms of shit to do. Like people talking about it being hundreds of hours long. So we'll have to figure out when I can slot that one in, because I do have 8 on my phone, but I'm trying to do them in order. So
I didn't know 8 came out on phones.
It
Not
did.
surprised. Yep. I'm sure it's using the same basis as the 3DS version, but
Yep. Yeah, they all do, basically. There's a couple slight changes in the mobile version. So the mobile versions of 4, 5, and 6 add back in party chat, which I think is not in the DS versions or 3DS versions.
Oh, interesting.
So you can actually talk. There's a party chat button on mobile where you can hit it at any time, and you'll basically have a little conversation with somebody in your party. That doesn't exist, I don't think, in the 3DS versions of 4, 5, and 6. But other than that, they're basically the same.
But
yeah,
I'd
DS
be
versions.
interested. I could probably tell you if I started up my copy of 4 again. But yeah, I really wish the Dragon Quest 12 3DS version would make its way to mobile.
Dragon Quest 12. That's not even
11.
out yet.
Sorry, 11.
Oh, okay.
I fucking goofed. Yeah, there was a version of 11 that was released in Japan only.
Yeah.
That looked really cool, and I wanted to play that version too.
Yeah, they've got. Is it the one that looks like a Super NES game?
Well, it looks on the Super NES game on the bottom screen, which they added to the version of 11S
on the Switch.
The top screen, the top screen was full 3D, I think. So you were looking at both simultaneously, and the 3D models in that version are like super deformed, so they have big heads and small bodies.
Oh, gotcha.
It was really cool though. Like I really like the art style of that. Looks like an old RPG.
I played the for a little bit. I played the 2D version of Dragon Quest XI on the Switch, and I enjoyed it. I probably wouldn't play the full game in 2D, at least not the first time through. Maybe if I decide to play it again, I will. But I'm gonna. I never finished Dragon Quest XI, so I put it on the shelf to go back through all the rest of them. So when I get back to that, I'm gonna play it 3D, I think, but I may eventually down the line play it 2D because it does look neat. Let's see what else. I bought the Burning Shores DLC for Horizon, but I'm really just starting that, so there's not really much to talk about there other than the fact that, goddamn, that game is gorgeous. It just every time I boot that game up, I'm amazed at how good they were able to make everything look, despite how huge it is. So, Guerrilla are wizards when it comes to visuals. But yeah, I haven't played enough of it yet to comment on the story or anything. I'll make my way through it over the next couple weeks while I'm waiting on Zelda. Since I'm not playing Jedi Survivor yet, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that one. But we can talk more about that later. Yeah, that's it.
All right, now I'll move on to Terrence. If he's here now, I don't know. I ain't heard him.
He's here. He is here. Okay, so
when you actually get like wood and stuff, like you can come off the ship.
You know, I was actually going to hit that button, honestly, but I didn't. Thank you for doing that for me. I appreciate it. Okay, so I played a bunch of stuff, but I'm only really going to talk about the one game. So I went back and I played some Evil Dead. That game still is good. I wish they would put it on Game Pass, but I think it was on PlayStation for free. So it's still got like an audience. Like I never had a problem getting a match or anything, which was cool. That Leap game that came out that nobody said anything about. I think Ken, you played it. I think
is that the
it was free this weekend on
game?
Xbox.
Is that the
yeah? It's so it has like a horde mode where like you go in there and fight with I think it was like 6 people versus like these other random troops and stuff, and like you get a hoverboard that you can fly and all around. It's like
I'm sorry.
It does. That's what I was gonna say. It does, but like the stuff it's doing is kind of cool. It just needs a better developer. Like it needs some iron and polish.
It's not gonna get it because ain't nobody fucking playing it. Like I had to think about it.
Ain't nobody playing it.
Okay,
like
so that
hella people are because it was free this weekend. But like if you look at the reviews, people just complain like I bought this and ain't nobody in it.
Okay, so I looked up the developer because it's like I'm like the name seems familiar. They did Citadel Forged in Fire, which has mixed reviews on Steam. They did Leap,
Played
which
that.
has mixed reviews on Steam. They did Slender the Arrival.
Ugh.
I played that too with my kids. That was
Blue Isle Catalog, which I've never heard of.
Nope.
And the only game that I'm like, that it wasn't Slender that I know of, that like other than Citadel, which I only know from name. Valley. They did Valley, which was a weird parkour
That's the
sort
one
of
where you got
game.
the robot legs, right?
Yeah, and let's say robot legs. I don't know if they're supposed to be organic or not, but where you could pull life from certain things and give life to others, so you could it was like this weird option of what lives and what dies and stuff, and it was very odd.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe their company should just be called Mixed Reviews. Be the-
probably because it's because I didn't hate it, but it needs some. But whatever. I'm talking about what we really want to hear about, and that's Redfall. So I'm going to review Redfall. I'm going to actually write that review up when I get done with here, since the embargo is tomorrow. Oh man. Okay. So listen, y'all. It's not Redfall is not a bad game. But like everything, apparently with Microsoft, it can't seem to get out of its own way to really be a good game. And that's the problem. So me and Ken played co-op. This is when we first booted up. We jumped into some co-op and played and had a good time. We discovered a lot of things. For instance, flashlights. So you have a flashlight because you're running around with,
I scared the shit out of you with
vampire.
the flashlight.
You turn the flashlight on, and if I turn my flashlight on, Ken can't see the flashlight.
Nope.
If he turns his flashlight on, I can't see his light. So he walked into this room and was like, "Oh man, look at this!" And it's like pitch black. I'm like, "Would you turn the light on?" He's like, "Yeah, it's on right now." And then I turn it on, and I was like, "Jesus!" And he's like right there in front of me because it's like an arcane game, so it's like really shadowy and stuff. Like they do that really well. So the darkness is dark until you put a light on it. So, but it's just weird that you're in co-op, but we can't see each other's light. Like, what the devil?
I need that clipped. It's dark until you turn on the light.
God damn it.
Wow.
Anyways.
Thanks, Terrence.
Anyways.
Science up in here.
51 minutes, 40 seconds, Anthony. 51 minutes, 40 seconds.
Okay, so there was that. Okay. The shooting in the game is pretty solid. This is probably the best, to me, the best feeling gunplay that I've played in an arcane game, and that's even with Deathloop. This feels better than that. But the guns, there are different types, but that's kind of it. There's no variety outside of rarity, and that just gives you different perks, right? So you might get plus 10% headshot damage, or this might, give a shockwave damage when you use health or something like that. And it has the normal kind of color scale of gray, green, blue, purple, yellow. So all the way to legendary gear. But there is no difference. So there's shotguns, there's assault rifles, there's sawed-off shotguns, there's flare guns, there's a UV gun, and there's pistols.
You forgot sniper rifles.
They're all
sniper
rifles.
But also, just the thing we did, like, we went to the docks, and there's a dude standing guard, and I shot him with a flare, and he just bowled over.
That's right, I forgot about that. There was a lot of, and I don't know if that's just because the game got crazy stuff going on, but we had a lot of laugh out loud moments like that. Like, he totally shot that dude, he just folded in half. Like, his body was just laying there. And it wouldn't let me video anything because it's not out yet, but we were literally cracking up at this game. It was a good time.
The fact that, like, that's the first time that we used the flare gun, and you're like, I don't think it's going to kill him, but I'm like, I one-shotted his ass with a flare gun.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's for the vampires, because there's humans and there's vampires. The humans are all in the cult worshiping these vampires in this town. And the story is actually kind of interesting, which I won't go too deep in, but it's not the normal vampire stuff. This is some sort of science-y stuff has happened here in Redfall. So Lord, I lost my train of thought. What was I even talking about? The combat. That's what I want to talk about. Well, the story, like I said, the story is interesting. But
all I'm gonna say is when I hear sciencey fucking vampire shit, I'm thinking it's Morbin time, and that's not a fucking positive.
So you're not too far off. because it is that type of sciencey. Like the little girl is being experimented on, and the Hollow Man is the first vampire god you run into, and this fucker is creepy as shit because he like is dialed into all the TV screens and stuff. So like when you're walking through areas, TVs will turn on with his creepy face, and he'll just say the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, and it's like, oh my god, like he says crazy stuff in a creepy voice that it like Jesus Christ, like I've shat myself more than once, like because it just comes out of nowhere. But it's cool because I mean it adds to the the feel of the game because it's fighting vampires and stuff. So co-op is good. This game falls apart in single player. I'm almost certain that this was supposed to be just a multiplayer game, and they just added single player because everybody is pissed because things don't have single player, because the difficulty is just insane. So fighting the regular humans are pretty easy. I mean, they're dead. The vampires, though, so they can fly, they can teleport like through you, so you have to like turn around to hit them and everything. And there's different variations. The more common one you're going to get is the melee ones, and they just literally rush you and like smack you. Well, you don't have a dodge or a block or anything in this game, so you end up eating all this damage because you can't get out of the way fast enough. Even if you backing up, like you could be 3 steps away, you still end up taking damage. And the bad thing is the heal, like you have to inject yourself with this thing. You have to like charge it up. So you have to hold down on the D-pad and if you get hit in the meantime, it'll knock you out of it. There is no quick heal way in this. And because you're playing by yourself, one vampire, sure. But the later stages, especially if you go into like the nests that pop up randomly, you're going to get surrounded by vampires, and then there's different types of them, and it becomes damn near impossible because you get stun locked out of everything and you can't heal. And if you try to run away, you know what I mean, to go find a quiet spot, these niggas just teleport to you. Like they just come to you and murder you. I don't know. It's insane. Like the Hollow Man fight, swear to God, I must have fought that dude like 20 times. And the only reason I won is because I literally cheesed it. Like, cause the game has a lot of issues, glitches and stuff like that. And I was able to take advantage of one hiding behind a pole and take this boss down. Cause I couldn't beat him. Like he has 3 phases. I could get the first 2, but then the third, he gets a shield. He throws a bunch of ads at you. And then like these blood bags that, when you shoot them, they explode, like they're like the feeders for the vampires, and they cause damage. And I don't know what the fuck the range is, but like I've literally sniped these and they explode and I've still taken damage. And I'm pretty sure that's a glitch, but I'm like, what the hell? And it's just a mess. It's just a mess single player.
It's a Bethesda game at launch.
That's what it is. Like, and this stuff I think can be fixed with patches. I think all these issues, because underneath all of the issues and the stupid AI and stuff, it actually is a pretty good game. Like it's, killing vampires and stuff is pretty fun.
It's fun
with friends.
Yeah, but that's my big problem is like this game, like you said, feels designed like each character has an ability that seems to complement the rest of the team. And if you're playing by yourself, you don't get that. So like the guy that I played with you in co-op, he literally just throws a raven and tags enemies. Like, what the fuck good does that do me in single player? Like, I don't have like a heal, I don't have like a distraction, I just got this fucking raven. I'm like, okay.
Yep. And then Layla, because I have her, like she has an umbrella shield, which can guard you from, bullets and stuff, but that doesn't help versus vampires that get in your face and punch you. And then she has an elevator that can make you jump higher, which I think all the characters have a traversal thing because I think the one dude has a teleporter and stuff like that. And then her ultimate is she calls in her little vampire ex-boyfriend, which sounds cool, but he shows up, we fist bump, and then he like hits 3 people and disappears. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Well, there's a whole bunch of more enemies. Like it's made to be played with friends. Like all of the abilities are made to sync with each other. And I just, man, the people that's trying to go at this by themselves, I don't know.
An upgrade skill tree?
Yeah, there's a skill tree that you can upgrade each ability as you unlock it, as well as some like standardized, like carry more ammo, carry more health packs, and stuff like that.
Can you upgrade
Yeah.
your weapons as well?
No, the weapons are basically you pick them up and you keep the best one, you scrap the rest.
Yeah, it's a looter.
Gotcha.
It's like a looter shooter. Yeah, and you salvage. So, and that's another thing because we realized this because the game doesn't really explain certain things. So there's like food and different stuff that you'll pick up, like bags of chips or duct tape and different stuff, and it makes it seem like it's going into your inventory, but it's not. What it does is when you pick up those items, it converts it to the like money in this world. I don't remember what it's called, but this salvage stuff. So when you pick up that, duct tape, it'll turn into 100 credits or whatever. And then the food, when you pick it up, it'll just heal you if your health is low, which I think is a Bethesda thing. Which I feel like they did that or Arcane rather did that in Dishonored and stuff too. But it doesn't like go into your inventory where you can go and be like, oh, I got a bag of chips. Let me eat that and get some health. No, you have to use the little shot that you got to charge and hope you don't get hit while you're doing it.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things about this game, and also to note about the co-op progression. So you can take any character that you've created. So basically, you can create characters individually. So there's 4 characters, and you can just create one of each.
Make one of each.
When you take them into the game, they have their own progression. So let's say, for example, you pick up collectibles on one character, they don't transfer to the other characters. And your progression of the story that you're playing in a co-op game, if you're not the host, it does not go. So like the character I played in co-op, if I would have used him in single player, I'd have had to start from the beginning.
It's garbage, dude. Not in this day and age.
It's so weird because it's everything around this game feels like it's built for, multiplayer and co-op, but then they have all these barriers with host-only progression, and you can't drop in, drop out. So if you don't like gather your party when you start, you can't invite somebody to come in later. And it's like, what the hell? Like you have all of this co-op stuff, but then you anti-co-op when it comes to actually getting the people together. Like Microsoft, man, like that's what this game is okay. It just can't get out of its own way.
I said this in our group chat. It never should you be able to point at fucking Gearbox and be like, how come they do it well? Like Gearbox not like the cleanest of companies technically, like just all around there's some issues. But like not once has that been an issue with their Borderlands series. Keep your progression. Oh, you've already done this mission? Well, it doesn't fuck over the person that hasn't, so, it's absurd that, like, and not only have they been doing it, they've done this since the fucking 360. Yeah. So it's not like it's, tech that, somebody tapped into that, others just haven't discovered yet. Like, this shit's been around for a while. And whether you like what happened with the Borderlands series over time, like whether you got bored of it like I did, those games still play well when it comes to multiplayer.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, when we were playing, our characters would level up, like, their compatibility, like their relationship kind of thing.
I forgot about that, yeah.
I want to know what that does, number one, and number two, like, what if I come into your game with a different character? Like, does it reset? Like, I don't...
We'll have to test that. That's a good question. But so, as to your point of what it does, I did read that. So, again, this goes into the whole thing of this literally being built to be played co-op. If you're playing with people, you get a buff for staying close together. You'll take less damage if you're together. You'll do a little bit more damage if you're together. Like, so basically the game rewards you playing close with your friends instead of kind of branching. Like, you totally can go on one side of the map and I go over here, but it incentivizes you to work as a team to be closer. That's what that little thing is for. And that levels up as the more you play with that person. But to your point, that's a good thing. Is that just the character, or is it, your gamer tag? So like if you pick, the vendor when we play, like, are you gonna have to start that all over?
I don't know. And I do have to say, performance-wise, I don't like shooters at 30 FPS. It doesn't feel good.
No.
And also, it drops frames.
Yes.
Like,
God, yes.
It's dropping frames at 30 FPS, and I'm going to tell you right now, playing this game, it shouldn't be running at 30.
No. No, and that's the other thing that you're probably going to have to do when you go into the options. And Ken actually pointed this out. I can't remember the setting, but it made it feel so much better. Like you're going to have to tweak the camera settings and stuff because it is just not good
Yeah, it
out the
moves
box.
the acceleration, and I again, same. I'm blanking on what it's called, but there's a setting that if you put it to low, it feels so much better.
Yeah,
But when you first boot it up, like your cursor like will start slow and then ramp up real fast, and you'll be like, zoom, and it's just it don't feel good.
no. And the last thing, and then I'm going to stop. Because it really sounds like I hate this game, but I don't. It actually is. But, I want to be upfront about the issues and stuff and everything. I don't want to gloss over that and turn around and give it an 8 or a 9. But so the other thing that this game does is you can't go back once you clear missions. So Redfall Commons is the first area that you get. And once you defeat the Hollow Man, which is the god or the boss of that area, it'll tell you make sure you finish up anything because you can't come back here, if you don't. So if you have any quest, if you haven't found any of the safe houses and defeated the underbosses, because that's a mechanic which just feels like it's like tacked on. When you unlock a safe house, it'll have a side mission in it that you go and do, and then that will unlock a sub boss or a mini boss, which is the underboss that you kill, and then you have to collect their skull. And their skull is basically the keys to get into the big boss room. So you had to have 3 of their skulls in order to go to fight the Hollow Man. So it's just like an added step. I don't know. But yeah, so you can't go back to areas. So you have to make sure that you actually do everything in an area before you move on, because you can't return to it.
It's weird.
I'm gonna be honest. This sounds like shit. It sounds like
I know, and I'm trying to not make it sound like that.
It's not. It's
Go
not
ahead.
It's not your description of it. It's just this is all shit that like I feel like people have been pretty vocal about not giving a shit about, or not liking. You know what I mean? Like the choices they've made. And I'm it's like I'm kind of tired, and I get it. Studios want to flex their muscles. Ken and I have said our pieces about Sony stuff. And you know what? It's actually a shame because I think a lot of people wanted Last of Us 2 multiplayer because they did a good job. But Sony knows that people want single player games and just make single player games. Here's a studio making Redfall that has been making single player games, deciding to not do that but do that at the same time and ending up with what sounds like a mess. To some extent, where it's like it wants you to play co-op, but it doesn't give you any benefits to play co-op. But if you play single player, you're at a deficit. It's kind of like how Ninja Theory made that fucking game that no one remembers. Ken,
You talking
what was that
about
game called?
the fucking Overwatch clone?
Yeah,
Bleeding Edge.
Bleeding Edge.
Oh,
What
wow.
are you-
Yeah,
I hate to ask, but what the fuck are you doing? Is this a passion project? Do you how many times do you have to watch fucking other people in the same industry do this same move and fucking fail at it? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. What is the goal? At the end of the day, I just kind of want to ask, what the fuck is the goal with this game? Because if it's to have fun with friends, you've actively worked against that. And if you're well, have fun as a single player, that doesn't work either. What's the fucking goal?
You can't pause it either, by the way.
and you can't pause it. Yeah, you can't pause it.
I'm telling you what happened. They originally made this game as a co-op only game, and they saw what happened with Back for Blood, and then tried to course correct. And so the problem is that they didn't. You got stuck in the middle.
Okay, but
it doesn't work in the middle.
Here's where I disagree with that, because I thought that would be the case too. Not necessarily that I didn't even think about Back for Blood, but I'm like, okay, so they built it as a multiplayer and added in single player after. But if that was the case, why is there not multiplayer progression for every member of the group?
Yeah, that part's still
That's the first.
that's
that's
true.
the first aspect that I have to go. What are you doing? Because ultimately, at least with Bleeding Edge, you go okay, don't understand why this exists. Whatever. This particular scenario, it's okay, but you're known for single player games. You then said, okay, but we're not doing that. okay, like we're doing a multiplayer game, but then you actively work against every like you two were just like Terrence was just talking about this friendship meter thing between characters. Why the fuck is that there? Because you don't give any incentive for the other player that's the guest character, essentially.
Yep.
But if you let people play by themselves, that doesn't work properly either. So what the fuck is this game?
I don't know. There's a lot of weird decisions that is being made with this game that I don't understand.
But it's like, I really don't understand, like, what the goal with this... All you had to do was look at Borderlands. I hate to say it like that, but all you had to do was look at Borderlands and go, let's do our version of that.
Yeah. Because, like I said, the fact that you're fighting vampires in this first-person shooter, I don't think... Well, I saw like Vampire the Masquerade. But, like, that's new, right? We haven't seen a bunch of vampire enemies in game. So that right there was a draw to it. Like, it's something different. I don't understand how they fumbled the bag so bad with this multiplayer stuff.
Because even that last minute sort of changes to appease the audience. I go, okay, but then we have these elements where I just go, I don't get, like, but that doesn't work because why would they ever build it this way? Like, it's what a mess of a fucking game this sounds like. Like, why can't I go back to old areas?
Yeah. Like, they're really, I don't think there is a reason outside. I mean, because you literally load an entire new map when you go to the next area.
But so that would make sense, right? If it was a Left 4 Dead like game,
right?
But you clearly didn't make a Left 4 Dead like game.
No, it's like budget Far Cry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like,
if you want budget Far Cry, play Homefront: The Revolution. Thank you. That's been my TED talk.
Yeah,
Far Cry.
I'm enjoying it.
Also, North Korea is at our home. Our home has been invaded.
This game right here is the definition of Xbox first party right now. It is the most 7 out of 10 I've ever seen in my life, with so many weird decisions and performance issues, and this is like your tentpole summer game.
Right. Like,
this is their follow-up to a game that most people had positive things to say about Deathloop. Like,
I did, for sure.
That's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And let's be honest, like, from the time that they've started doing their own games, they haven't really missed.
No, they've had their problems, but they've all been good games.
Yeah, and this feels like a miss, because, like, you can only say, I feel like you have to squeak out it's good.
And that's how it feels. Yeah, because, and it feels like a miss, not because of, the story content, how the game plays or anything like that, because of design decisions that they made. Like, if the co-op stuff was better and all of that, the dealing with 30 frames per second and the other Bethesda type bugs in the game would be easier to swallow. But because, like, you're marketing this game as this co-op experience, but then not even telling people, because this was something that people had to dig to find out, that it's host only progression, and that, if people play, they can only take back the weapons and loot and stuff that they find.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
My cat just attacked my ankle in the middle of your rant, so.
Nice. That's all right. It happens. My cat she's upstairs asleep, luckily, because she would be in my lap. I have to lock her out the basement. But yeah, it's just weird because, like I said, I really want to like this game, but damn, they make it hard.
You know what it's going to be? This is going to be a great game in 2024.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know,
I'm sure they'll come back and fix this stuff.
Yeah, for the 4 players that still have any interest in it.
Exactly.
At least it's on Game Pass.
That's what'll happen.
I mean, at least it's on Game Pass, so you ain't got to pay for it.
Yeah, but still, so was Back for Blood. It's garbage. I mean, it's over with.
No. I understand that part of it, but what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to. Like, you know how people are, and we're going to talk about this in a minute about Jedi Survivor. When people tell you a game's got problems and you don't like it, and the things need to be fixed, people's like, "Oh, you're just being negative. You're being negative. I'm going to buy it anyway."
Yep.
Yeah, you show me by spending $70 on a thing that I don't benefit from, or
I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all. My suggestion is play the Game Pass version if you're that curious. Don't Don't spend the money
For sure.
on this.
Don't spend the money. Play And I know they're going to bring the 60 frames patch, but they don't have a time frame for it, so we don't even know when that's going to be.
Sticker on the box.
Yeah, right. It's printed on the box. They put a sticker on it that says it's not at launch. Jesus.
How bad?
Like we fumbled this back.
That means they printed it. That means they printed it on the back that was like it has 60 frames. Because because otherwise they wouldn't have to put a sticker that says 60 frames is not available at launch. Because people wouldn't assume that buying at retail. But oh my fucking god.
It's just so, man. I hope they can get it ironed out. But yeah, I'm gonna write that review today, and it's probably gonna be it's 7. Yeah, it's not gonna be any higher than that. So spoiler, that's what it. Yeah, because it's just it has so many. Go ahead, man.
Well, I was just gonna say it. I mean, is that not the testament to Game Pass?
Yeah,
7
out of 10.
Mediocre shoveling of shit.
Not even that. I'm just saying, don't spend 60 bucks on this or 70 or however much it's going to be. Spend $15, play it on Game Pass, along with other games that are on there. Check and see if you like it, and then go from there.
I feel like Game Pass and most of the first party titles that have been coming out on it, outside of like 2 that I can think of, have been like, come and get your slop, and then they fucking pop it down. At first you're like, oh yay, and then you just realize you're just eating slop. Like, Hi-Fi Rush is good from everybody's opinions on it, and then Psychonauts 2, which is technically, I guess, first party now, but
yeah, that was first party when it came out. So.
Hi-Fi Rush is exceptional.
Yes, it is.
So, but that's like Halo Infinite and Grounded's one of those.
Minecraft Legends. Minecraft Legends is a niche title, though.
Minecraft Legends was a game that came out.
I forget.
Everybody forgot about it 20 minutes later.
Yeah, I forget Minecraft Legends exists.
I've played a bunch of matches online with different people, and it's the only ones that are playing it are like the hardcore Minecraft fans from when I talk to them, which is funny because that game doesn't have voice chat. You got to go into a party to talk to people. Which is weird because that's another co-op type like game. Like what the hell?
The fucking Xbox made its name off of really good multiplayer. What the fuck is happening?
Right? And the voice chat thing. Like they bundled it with the headset with the 360. That was the whole thing. Like why are y'all putting these games out that we can't talk to people in anymore?
You know why? Is there random matchmaking in that Minecraft game?
Yes,
that's
it
why
is.
They don't
not
have
in
voice
Redfall
chat
though.
That's why they don't have voice chat.
All because it's kids. Because it's.
Go ahead.
Children of the future.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I just looked up what's the best Game Pass games. As it stands right now, apparently, Forza Horizon 5, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Tunic, Sea of Thieves, It Takes Two, 2 Point Campus, Psychonauts 2, Citizen Sleeper, Gears 5, Immortality, Tetris Effect, which is going away pretty soon.
Yeah, this week.
Ion Life, Ori and the Will-O-Wisp, Atomic Heart, Grounded.
I mean, that's a lot of good shit.
But how much of that is Xbox though? I'm not saying Game Pass is bad. I'm saying like the
Xbox first party period is kind of trash right now, except for Hi-Fi Rush.
That's what I was mentioning. Like, they're supposed to be the people that are like, look at Game Pass, like, and then it's like, okay,
yeah, it's getting bolstered by everything else and not them. Like, what is Microsoft? We can talk about this for the news. I'm actually done, Ken. You can do your.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll talk about what Microsoft's doing later, but kind of pivot
go ahead.
And talk about how good Game Pass is. The last case of Benedict Fox is really fucking good.
I want honestly, it was starting up. I was either going to start up that, or I was going to start up Nuclear Blaze, and I chose Nuclear Blaze, and I'm glad I did because it was short and sweet.
Yeah,
so.
Well, now
the
you can jump
in Benedict Fox though. Like you good with all of that? Like it just
the controls are a little funky.
Yeah,
I don't like how you interact with things with the D-pad. Like that's not my favorite thing ever. But the combat's fine. The parry timing feels a little weird. But it's the story and the Metroidvania stuff that keeps me going. Like that stuff is really, really interesting.
The vibe is super deep. Yeah, I like that game.
And I'm getting some serious darkness vibes with that fucking monster that's talking to me.
Yeah, right?
Hopefully voiced by Mike Patton again.
I mean, this voice is really good. I don't think it's
Mike
Patton,
Patton's
good voice.
fucking Voices the Darkness made me a fan of Mike Patton.
Yeah.
Like, that's how stupid that is, but I fucking loved him
yeah,
talking in your
He
ear
was
the
also
entire
in The
time.
Suffering.
yeah.
Yeah, he
People
wasn't the
forget about
narrator
the
in that?
suffering.
What's that?
Was he not the narrator in that? No, I'm thinking of
He
a
was
movie
like
he was in.
he was like one of the villains.
The Suffering 1 and 2, The Ties That Bind, are forgotten gems that I wish they would bring back, but that's in midway limbo. So, but no,
It was,
last case of Benedict Fox is excellent.
Okay, so I have to just because Mike Patton was the narrator in a movie called Bunraku. That's why I was thinking that. But he was the voice of the darkness, and he was the Infecteds in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He was and he was Nathan Spencer in Bionic Commando. Which,
Yes, he was. Holy crap!
Where his
And then
arm was
the
his
only
wife.
other one-
Spoilers.
the only other like things that where I feel like people would know him from that are not like just his music or whatever. He was the Anger Sphere in Portal, which you just hear for a little bit at the end, and he's all the creatures in I Am Legend. So if you need guttural sounds, Mike Patton's available.
Wait a minute. Mike Patton apparently is in Shredder's Revenge. Does he do the rock song in that?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
he's
do
the-
the
he sang
intro
it,
song. Yeah, they do the intro song.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
He did the new version. That was announced when they put out the trailer.
Did not know that.
Yep, that's them. All right. Before I get to Jedi, I'll run through the indie games real quick. Skinny and Franco, Fists of Violence is 2D beat 'em up, not very good. Velocity Noodle is one of those stage 1, 2, 3 grid pattern stages, jump, attack, not great. Franbo is a point and click game about mental health. I love that you can answer questions in it like I don't give a fuck. Like that was my favorite part of it. Doricone is a visual novel. I kind of stopped playing that. Smile for Me is literally a first-person adventure game where you go around trying to make people smile. It's kind of charming. I kind of dig it.
Which is funny because that's the whole goal of the show, Smiling Friends, but it's a very different tone.
Oh, absolutely. Like this is like you got some real nasty people and you're trying to make them smile.
Yeah, but it's not like horribly adult. Unlike fucking Smiling Friends, where one of the guys has got a gun to his head all the time.
Yeah, it's
And
not quite that
his
dark.
brains out if you make him sad.
I was kind of excited to try the Aquarist, which is an aquarium simulator. But for some reason, when I boot up the game and go to the menu, I can't select anything. Like the controller doesn't work. So,
Weird.
Good quality check there. Good job. 8 Doors: Aram's Afterlife Adventure is a 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania with really cool art style, kind of like black and white, with some tones of red, and it's based on like Korean folklore. So it's actually
What
pretty
game
good.
is this?
8 Doors: Aram's Afterlife Adventure. So
Okay.
I kind of dug that. Gemmatomb is a puzzle game that mixes columns and Arkanoid. Or no, not Arkanoid. I'm sorry. Bubble Bobble. So imagine columns with Bubble Bobble, and you're
Do you
playing
mean
against
Puzzle Bobble?
probably the one where you shoot
'Cause
the ball
Bubble-
up and break the balls.
Yeah, that's Puzzle Bobble.
Okay.
The only reason why I ask is because if it's a mix between Bubble Bobble, that still makes sense. It's just a very different game. That's all.
And this is like a versus where you're against an opponent, and you've got to try to. The more you break, you send over to their side. It's actually kind of fun. I enjoyed it.
Interesting combination.
Strayed Lights is a third-person Souls-like game that I found the parry timing to be absolutely terrible. But maybe it was just me.
Get good.
Yeah, I need to.
Anytime I hear Souls, like just part of me just fades off to some other place. I don't know how to describe it.
I do the same thing. Dig Deep is one of the weirdest things I've ever done. You literally look like the dude on the bathroom sign, and you have a shovel, and you dig and collect these purple balls and put them in a bucket.
Would you be surprised to find out that it's on the Google Play Store?
No, I would not. Just like
Oh my god, that does look like an Android game for free.
Yeah, that game is not very good. Speaking of games that were not very good, I also
I
played.
have to read this review. for the Android version. I mean, it's fine. As expected, it's got way too many ads. However, the actual game, it's fine. Just fine.
I don't even know that I would call it
Right.
fine. I was like, all right, this is...
I just love that it's fine. I don't know what the fuck else to say. It
fine.
works. It turns on. 5 out of 10.
Ampersat is a top-down twin-stick action-adventure where you're an ampersand, and you have a sword, and the village that you're in, all the words have been taken away, and you have to go get them back. I'm not even kidding about the...
Okay.
I didn't even make that up. That's a real thing.
I was hoping it would look more ASCII.
No, this thing looks
No.
like a what's the best?
It's
way?
very weird.
Old-
If you're looking,
Old PC, like I don't know. It's a weird game.
yeah. The fucking graphics are like sort of gaudy early DOS type shit.
Yeah.
But it's 3D.
I didn't care much.
It's-
Like the controls are real stiff. I didn't care for it at all.
There was another game where it was like you were played as like special characters that had been built into like a person that you. It was a full 3D game, but all the characters were built out of like letters and numbers and symbols and stuff. And I wish I could remember what it was called because it's
like
kind of the same.
Word Man
concept?
or something like that? What was it
No,
called? I know what you're talking about. It was like a platformer.
I don't know. I just know this is an ampersand sign with a sword. Project Nightmares Case 36 Henrietta Kedward is a first-person horror game. Stop me if you've heard this before.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Before you said a first-person horror game, I was thinking point-and-click adventure.
Nope, this is a first-person horror game. The only thing that I found interesting about this is that the story is about like this ancient, like demon woman who they were trying to learn more about, and they found like this doll that she had, and your brain goes into like the aura of the doll, and that's what the game takes place in. But it is one of those like first-person horror games. And then I
The
played.
game I'm thinking of was called Hero Man. No, not Hero Man. Typo Man.
I remember Typo Man.
Yeah.
That was a neat game. Sweet
That's not the one I was thinking of.
Sweet Bakery Tycoon is a fucking phone game where you tap to serve people coffee and pies.
Okay.
And
Xbox.
I'm pretty sure this is on everything too. It's just so
Anthony
many,
throwing shots.
so many fucking games. So many fucking games. All right, let's talk about Jedi.
Hold on. Does anybody have any chairs that are branded with this? Anybody got
God damn
fucking
it.
Star Wars figures behind them? I just want to make sure that they, like, you know, we announced the fact that, like, maybe we were given some shit for coverage. Oh, wait, nothing? Okay, cool. Let's continue.
I want to talk about the roller coaster that was this game.
I love you, Anthony.
the
Hey,
rev-
will you guys just think about Terrence's community for a minute before you
I
start
was
making
right.
that?
I
Actually
was
true. You
trying
gotta-
to put it out there for him, you know, like I was trying to get him some clicks. Um,
I'm here trying to build this community. All right, go ahead, man. My bad.
this was such a roller coaster. So like I've been playing this game for about a week and a half before it came out, and I did
I
finish
thought you
it.
had it longer.
I may have. I can't remember exactly when I got. I know that I did finish it. And as I was playing through it, I know I was like updating everybody in the Discord. I was like, "This game is rough. Like, I can't do this and I can't do that because like this could break the game." The performance mode was not great. I was having tons of glitches. The game crashed my PS5 like multiple times. There were actually progression issues where it would be like, you know, you got to do this thing to get to this next area, but the game wouldn't let me do said thing, so I had to like restart and reload. And it just, there's just so many issues. What sucks is like once you dig past that and you get into the game, this is exactly what you want. It is a bigger version of Fallen Order. Like the worlds are so much more to explore. They're so much bigger. Like the saber combat is still fun. There's new stances that you can do. There's new things that you can find. The side missions are interesting. The story is really good, although it does some definite bait and switch stuff. Like in the opening hours, it's like, or I'm sorry, in the opening like mission, like it builds you up for this thing and then completely like 180s it before you get into the main game. And then you get towards the end and like it 180s again and you're like, well, what the hell? There's a sequence in this game that might be the best of any Star Wars game ever. Not gonna lie, it was fucking rad as hell, and I loved it. But like, my review came out, and I was like, I can't look past the fact that this game was a technical mess. Like, that's the experience you're getting on day one. And I did go back after the patch that they told us would be the day one patch, and I played about another hour and a half to 2 hours to see, and the frame rate was still bad. I was still running into glitches. There were problems with the game. I was like, okay, so when these reviews come out, I'm going to see this. And then the reviews dropped, and it's like, this is a perfect game, the best Star Wars game ever made. I'm like, am I crazy?
An absolute masterpiece. Well, Ken, the problem is that you're naming stuff that only happens to the PC version.
Ken, you're naming stuff that people that are getting paid won't notice. Continue. Sorry.
No, just like, but that's
I
not
want to make
true.
it clear.
That's not true. Like,
saying...
the PC version is not the only thing that's broken.
And I'm also
that's what's only been reported, though.
I don't want to say that they're paid. That's not fair. But however, their opinions have been horribly biased because they don't want to put themselves in a bad light, so they keep getting free shit. And this is not the first fucking time this has happened. I'll recall, and look, I liked Fallout 4, it was fine. But I recall a bunch of people giving we've said our piece about the old Giant Bomb crew. Jeff Gerstmann we thought was very negative. However, I never felt like he was not being himself.
No, he was always honest, regardless of what
he was
said.
always honest, yeah. even if I thought he was wrong. But it's the same with, I feel like, us. Not saying we're on the same level as Giant Bomb's crew, whatever. But I remember him getting attacked, him and the rest of the Giant Bomb getting attacked for calling out problems with Fallout 4 from a bunch of people who were sitting around drinking fucking Nuka-Cola or whatever. And it was like, okay, a bunch of people that have their fucking Hip Boys in the background. How about this? One of these two people aren't doing that, and one of them's actually calling out shit that's actually happening, and the other one's going, it's not a big deal. Same thing happened with fucking Cyberpunk. I don't know how many times we go down this fucking path of people just ignoring these technical faults because we're getting kickback or whatever. It's beneficial for me to be positive. Which is funny because it's one of the few times, I guess, that it's beneficial because nothing draws fucking people from the outskirts of fucking internet to then just being negative about something that they like even though they've never played it. My first fucking review, I said, hey, look, It Takes Two, A Way Out is mediocre. There was technical issues, which I even forgave, but I said, but ultimately, like, I've seen all this before. And the first comment that was, are you serious? And it's just like, I've played the game. Yes, I'm serious. And like, nobody talks about that game now. Everybody talks about how good It Takes Two is, which is what A Way Out should have been, essentially. And it's like, yeah, well, it's a very weird scenario to have fucking people be positive about a fucking technical mess like this. I don't understand it.
No.
There's no benefit. There's no benefit because negative things will still attract people. If you're going for clicks, I don't see it. To stay in good graces with publishers that are going to do this, is this what you want to hook your fucking wagon to be a liar? But I guess people keep falling for it, so it really doesn't matter.
It's a problem. So you mentioned a couple of things. So Fallout, right? Talking about Fallout 4, and you got the guys who are drinking their Nuka-Cola and shit like that. It happens with the games that have a massive fan base. What has a bigger fan base than friggin' Star Wars? And if you were to go out there and say this Star Wars game is not that great because of the technical issues, people would attack the living crap out of you. The problem is that the people who are getting Star Wars for review are huge Star Wars nerds. And they automatically have those blinders on that where anything that's Star Wars, they're just going to eat it up, Stop asking questions, just consume product, and be excited for next product. That's what it boils down to. And when you have somebody who is, I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, but if I played this game and it was a technical mess, I'm going to tell people, hey, this thing's got a lot of friggin' issues. You know, even if the game is good, you know, in the grand scheme of things, cool story, you know, decent combat, stuff like that. If it crashes, I'm going to say something because in this day and age, we shouldn't have a game that like hard locks my freaking Xbox or whatever. You know?
I mean, yeah, this game straight up killed my PS5 multiple times. Like going into a cutscene, it would just crash and say, "Here's an error, here's an error," and it wasn't like a singular occurrence. This happened multiple times.
That means it's a poorly optimized video game that shouldn't have released right now.
But poorly optimized implies that there's a version that is optimized. This is just the game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is that it wasn't done. It wasn't done.
And them coming out and saying, "Hey, like if you have stronger PC hardware."
Yeah,
like,
what the heck?
What the fuck are you?
Because I got better tech. What? That was so weird.
Yeah, I watched the Digital Foundry of the PC version. I was like, holy shit, this is even worse than what I experienced on the PS5.
And you know what? This is one of those times where I know we've all had, well, not all of us, but some of us have had issues with Digital Foundry. At least they always have numbers to back their shit up. Even if you're overblowing it, right? Like they're showing you like this is our technical process.
Yeah. I mean, this game...
And this is a technical mess.
The performance in this game is like, there is no reason for you to play on performance mode. It drops so hard. It doesn't support VRR on the PlayStation 5, so I had to force it. And even then, like, you could see, like, it was dropping so low that you could see the dips.
Jeez.
I mean,
so wait, does it run 30 on quality?
It runs 30, but it still hitches on occasion because it's got that Unreal Engine, like, loading stuff.
Gotcha.
So, like, you still see it when you, like, transition to a big area. There's a spot when you first get
Redfall does that.
Yeah, when you get to the first big planet, and there's, like, this big dinosaur-like creature in the background, and every time you get to that area, it just, like, chugs, no matter what mode you're on. I don't know, man.
So what do you think? You think it needed another 6 months in the oven?
Absolutely, this game needed another 6 months. Just like I feel like Redfall probably needs another 6 months.
Yeah. yeah.
But to see people give this like a 5 out of 5 or a 9 out of 10, I'm just like, it's a great fucking video game. Like when this thing gets fixed, it's going to be one of the best Star Wars games you will ever play.
But by that time, your review will be redundant.
Exactly.
You're talking about a version that doesn't even exist anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
you're not future-proofing it. Like
Anthony, 95% of my playtime in this game was on pre-patch. Like, I can't go back through the entire game. The patch came out a day before our reviews dropped. And I booted it up to see what it changed, and there were still just numerous problems. Like, I don't know, man. Like, and you see people online like, the performance is not great, but it's fine. And I'm like, man, there's a spot in the game, not to spoil anything about the game, but you need to use BD1 to do something, to progress. And the game would not register my input. You press down on the D-pad to use BD1. I sat there and pressed it for 20 minutes. He never moved. It never did anything. I went back and reloaded a meditation spot. Didn't do it. I had to quit the game and come back.
Jeez.
And my save, because you only save at meditation points, was 10 minutes ago. So I had to do 10 minutes of game over again because the game would not take a simple directional input. And that's just one thing I can tell you. There were multiple. It's crazy.
But it's Star Wars.
I mean,
That's
I
it.
don't know.
It's Star Wars.
Everything that Star Wars touches is gold.
But it's not.
I just don't like. Look, all of us work jobs, so this isn't our livelihood, which I guess would change people's way they deal with this sort of stuff, right? So I can't speak from that aspect. But when people complain, like when the internet complains about like we're not being able to trust reviewers, it's this shit. It's this shit right now. There's no reason why you couldn't be like, look, it's 7. Right?
I mean,
that's a fair statement. Look,
like
the game
the
game when it's playable is fantastic. However, here's the issue that we have. It doesn't run perfectly, and that's going to affect the ability to play it and like bring that up and let that affect your score. You know, it's the reason why like there was very few, and some of them like God bless them, maybe they didn't have the same amount of issues, right? Maybe they got lucky. So I won't.
Sure.
So
Maybe,
like
yeah.
But there is a difference when those people at least acknowledge it. Like at that point, if you've acknowledged it, I go, you know what? I can't speak to your playthrough, right?
Right.
So like there is a level of like you at least admitted like I had issues. You're at least letting the people know before they spend their money, because that's the one thing that we have in common. Like, you know, if we get it for review, we're not spending our own money. But you know, it's a fucking $70 game.
Yeah, it's a full price game because it's only next gen.
Yeah, so that's not nothing. That's a fucking fifth of the console almost after taxes.
Also, I just want to say, like design-wise, I don't understand why this game has so many squeezy holes. Like,
that's the thing that
it's next gen only.
I'm telling you right now,
it's next gen only.
It's always going to be there.
Yeah, but this is I can't overstate this. You have probably played a game that has a bunch of them. This one has like 100% more. Like there is a squeezy hole. Like
man, I don't know if you can beat fucking Final Fantasy 15 with their fucking squeezy holes.
You absolutely can in this game.
Do you think it's just them trying to mask loading screens?
Well, some of them are so short, Drew. Like they're literally half a second. Like some of them are literally half a second.
Weird. I don't know, man. That's very odd.
Why is that even there? Like, why is that there?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, there's a squeezy hole like every 2 seconds in this. It's you know, I'm obviously being facetious, but like it's a lot. It is a lot of squeezy holes.
I like how we're just calling them squeezy holes.
What else do you call them? You know, like those. You know what I'm talking about because it's like the character gets in a crevice and has to slowly
shimmy.
Yeah, they gotta shimmy their way through there.
It's a shimmy. It's a shimmy.
Yep.
Like,
am I gonna squeeze myself into this?
Oh yeah, there's tons of them.
God Award did it a lot.
This game does it more than Ragnarok.
I feel like Uncharted was really the original master of the squeezy hole.
Yeah, that is true.
This one puts
another
Uncharted.
Like in Uncharted, though, a lot of times it was in the first Uncharted. At least some of it seemed like obviously it was there to mask loading times, but some of it also seemed like it was a way to show off some admittedly cool animations that they did for that game.
Oh, 100%. And Cal has some really cool animations. Like he'll turn and he'll like lift his legs up and stuff. Like it looks cool, but like after the 50th time, I'm like, dude, you didn't really need to squeeze through another hole. Like, yeah,
squeezy holes at this point feel like one of those things that people are putting in not because they need to, but because they think they're supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird, man. Like the game is so good outside of all these issues, but you just cannot ignore them because it's not like this patch fixed them all. Like still problems.
That's shit. Like that's the reason why I'm kind of like pissy about people saying this is the best game ever. When it gets into customers' hands, you are doing them a disservice. And like you are screwing people out of their hard-earned money. You are a shill. You are a shill because if you know the product, again, I realize some people probably had good experiences. I'm not saying, but it's just there's way too many people saying this game is perfect. It doesn't matter. Like it runs fine. That can't be the case with the amount of people the public has now got their hands on it. Like it is a mess. They are saying it's a mess.
The Steam reviews are terrible.
Right. So that can't be that like everybody didn't have problems and Ken just happened to be the one that got the shit end of the stick.
It was funny because I had a reviewer from another site reach out to me the day before embargo was up. He's like, "Are you having problems with Jedi?" I was like, "Oh my god, you have no idea." Like it's bad.
But this is the definition of a shill. You are helping somebody sell something that you don't fully believe, and that sucks. Like you are a shitty person, and you're fucking people out of their money. That's just not right. Like, look, I get it. Sometimes I give a game 10, someone goes and buys it, and like, I don't think the game's a 10. But at the same time, like, I believe that still. Like, I'm being genuine with my opinion. I don't get a fucking high five from the $5 in my pocket. They don't send me anything. They probably don't know I exist. So, which is probably the best way to handle it. But it really is like this weird scenario where I'm like, I feel dirty watching this happen.
Well, a perfect example, if you look at Jay Jay is like a massive FromSoft fan, and he gave Elden Ring an 8 because he played on PC and it wasn't optimized properly.
Oh, I remember
And-
people yelling at him.
And people started a subreddit thread just calling out
Jesus.
us. Yeah, they calling out Jay saying ZTGD gave it 8 to the best game ever made, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Before the game was out.
And Jay even said in the review the PC version is having a lot of problems. And then it finally came out saying, yeah, the PC version does have a lot of problems, and they patched it and it made it worse. So I'm just saying, like, and the person who started that subreddit got called out saying, dude, like, no, it's legit. Like, they're having some issues. And then he finally deleted the thread because he was being embarrassed. But I mean, that's the perfect example. I mean, people are going to do that, you know, like, oh, look, ZTGD gave one of the best Star Wars games ever made a 7.
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine.
I hate that we have to walk that tightrope, because when I was, getting in it with that bald headed bastard, I really want to read that nigga for real, but I'm gonna catch him in the street one day, because I don't know, like, this whole thing, like, I mean,
Let him enjoy
you can
his
like a
comfy chair.
game. You can like a game, hell, love a game, and you can still be critical of it. Like, I feel like I was that way with Hogwarts. I loved Hogwarts Legacy, but that game had problems, and I put them in my review, and it's still my opinion. But you can't pretty up the issues that it has if you're going to be a trusted source. And maybe I just take this review job more seriously than I should, but I'm kind of like where Anthony is. I feel bad or dirty if I'm not honest and saying, hey, this was my experience, it could happen to you too, rather than just say, oh my god, this is the best Star Wars game ever. There's lightsabers and a blaster, and a droid came and he was a blaster and a lightsaber, and it was just incredible. Like, I mean, you gotta call out the bad stuff too. I don't know, man. It's weird. This is why they don't. It's weird.
I'll be honest with you. I like the game so much that I want to buy it on Xbox, but the fact that it's in so much of a problem right now stops me from doing that. Because I prefer to play on Xbox, and I reviewed on PS5. I was like, well, I like this game enough that I want to play through it again on my preferred platform, but I'm not spending $70 on that broken mess right now. I'll buy it when it gets cheaper.
Yeah, I feel it. I'm going to wait for the EA Play something. I'm sure it'll be on there at some point, because, yeah.
It all comes back to Wonder Boy, and I'm sorry, but like, it is, I'm a huge Wonder Boy fan. I took my review of the first collection, because anyways, and just tore apart the company that released it. And it's like, because while I don't have to spend my money, fuck you for even trying to get my money on something that you know is a lesser product. So I spend my time calling it out. And I'm glad that at least when it came to the second collection, people were criticizing the business decisions of the company. But I've been calling that out for a while. I get nothing. There's no benefit for me to call out things for a series I love. There's none. It's me criticizing the part to stop it from being great. That's kind of the point of a fucking review. The idea, if you dislike something, sometimes it can be entertaining. I enter most reviews trying to enjoy the game. I say most because there's been a few times I'm sure I have not. But like, I asked for Made in Abyss, and it bit me in the fucking ass. I asked for Disaster Report 4. It bit me in the ass. But like, I'm going to call it things because I want to like those games. I asked for Clive and Wrench, and bit me in the ass. Like, I don't enter these games going, I'm gonna fuck up somebody's day. I enter it because I'm like, I want to genuinely enjoy this game, and it doesn't work out, and that's fine. But then you have to be honest, because if I go, yeah, it's great, no, there's no problem at all. Like, someone might go and spend money on it. That's on me. I've now been complacent in the shittiness of somebody releasing a game that I think doesn't work.
And that's where I'm at. Like, I feel bad if I'm, lying and saying this game is great, and you just went and spent your $70 instead of going to get your baby some food. Arguably, you probably should have got the baby some food. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with
Terrence,
you.
Terrence,
you
if
went
someone's using your reviews for that as an excuse for that, they got bigger issues. That they should.
Well, you got to think of the opposite that happened to me, and Ken can attest to this. When I reviewed Street Fighter 4 when they released it on Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Oh, it was broken.
That game was totally fine before it released. Me and Kim played, probably 10 matches?
Yeah, and it was fine.
No issues
Really?
whatsoever. And I was like, this is perfect. Like, it's one of my favorite Street Fighter games. This would be an easy review because I've played Street Fighter 4 a million times. It's just, hey, now you can play it on PlayStation 4. The day that game came out, the online was broken. You couldn't play it anymore. And, of course, my review had already went live, 9.0. And I'm just like, well, shit. What am I supposed to do now? Now I'm the shill. I'm the Street Fighter shill.
Damn.
But literally, like, if anybody ever read that review thinking I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, I have proof. Me and Ken both.
I played it with you. It was fine.
Played it before it released, and it was totally fine.
Well, God love it, man.
Seems like a real shill thing to say to me. But...
Yeah, right.
All right.
He's over there polishing his Street Fighter trophy.
The last quick point on this, and it probably sounds self-serving, and maybe it is, but that's why, given the choice between reading a review from an enthusiast site and reading a review from a site where the reviewers make their living doing this, I'm always going to pick the enthusiast site because the punchline is, whether people believe it or not, obviously blacklisting is real.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So these guys, we're not, Anthony mentioned it already. None of the folks on this show are paying our mortgage or, putting food in our kids' mouth with the stuff that we do here. But for the folks that are, the risk of being blacklisted by a publisher is real. And so if your job depends on your ability to continue to get games, you're probably going to be tempted to give games better scores than they should, especially if it's from a big publisher like EA. So, not saying that every paid review site does that, but the temptation is there, I'm confident.
Right. And the temptation is there for sites even like ours that are smaller too. I won't deny that.
Yeah,
fact.
but it's not the same. The pressure's not the same.
The attention is a good thing when you get like a publisher retweeting your scores or whatever, and that's not why I do anything.
The pressure's not the same.
No, it's different. Because you're definitely not putting food on your family's table. Although I would argue if that's the case, if you're having that moral dilemma, maybe that's a problem. Maybe your job, you know what I mean? Like it's the child grinding machine, the orphan grinding machine. And if you go, if I don't do this though, can't put food on my family's table. Well, okay, but you're still grinding orphans, man.
Yeah, but people aren't going to listen. At the end of the day, most people aren't going to pass up the opportunity to do something that's probably been a lifelong dream as a living.
True.
To make sure that Jedi Fallen Order gets a 7 instead of a 9. So that's as much a publisher problem as it is a reviewer problem. But that's there's a whole conversation to be had about that side of this business. In the short term, like I said, I choose to, if I'm going to read a review to make a decision about a game that I'm going to buy, it's going to be from somebody that I already trust, and most of the time it's going to be from somebody that's not getting paid.
Yeah.
Yep, same.
All right. I know this is a long show, but we had some big games to talk about. We're going to move on to releases and news and fun stuff like that. So strap in, because we got some more fun. But we're going to start with the releases this week, which is kind of a big week. We'll start with Series X, PlayStation 5. We got Age of Wonders 4 dropping on Tuesday, alongside Redfall, which we just talked about. Moonrise Fall, Weeping Willow, a detective visual novel. Another game I'm playing for review that I can't talk about yet is called Ravenlock. That's dropping on Game Pass this week. That's from the guys that did, what's the Echo Generation? Coco Cucumber, I think is the name of them. I love Echo.
I like the art style in that one.
Yeah. I loved Echo Generation. I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, it was cool.
This is their next game. It's out on Thursday. Death or Treat, Swordbreaker Origins, and Titans Pinball. And then on PS5, Trek to Yomi getting a deluxe edition, and Ys 9 Monstrum Nox is out on Friday. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Hogwarts Legacy. We're finally getting to that point where the old systems are not getting as many releases as the new systems. So Hogwarts Legacy is the only listed game for PS4. That's also coming to Xbox One alongside Space Gladiators and a bunch of stuff we already mentioned. So kind of a light week for the old machines. Nintendo Switch, light week, but still quite a few games. Pixel Paint 2, Toziuha Knight, Dracula's Revenge. I don't know if I said that right. That word is very weird to me. Color Pals, Super Dungeon Maker, Jigsaw Puzzle Fever, Mia and the Dragon Princess, No Place Like Home, Pathfinder's Memories, The Shooting Range 3D Shooting Gallery Simulator, Urbex City Builder, Duru About Mole Rats and Depression.
Okay.
I read that and I was like, what?
Cool.
Greta, and then Swordbreaker Origins and Trek to Yomi Deluxe Edition. That's all your new releases for the week. Whew. Alright, time for some news. ZeniMax Online has unionized. So another studio under... That's the one good thing Microsoft has been doing, is like a lot of studios under them have been unionizing, which is cool.
Yeah, and they haven't been interfering at all, which is really good.
Yep, at least they're doing something right over there, I guess. Grounded Super Duper Update is now available. Quantum Break is back on digital stores and on Game Pass. It can't be a week with Xbox news without a week of Xbox controllers. We've got 5 limited Redfall designs available in the Xbox Design Lab. Microsoft has signed another 10-year deal with Inware to bring all of their games as well as Activision Blizzard games if the deal is closed to the service.
I just want to say, fuck those controllers. All right, moving on.
Games with gold for May 2023 have been announced. And we're getting...
Correction, fuck games with gold, too.
You know what? This month they're good games. At least they're good games. You get Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which is an excellent game. And you get, how do you say it, Hoa? H-O-A? Hoa? That's a good game. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay, but Star Wars Racer was on the PlayStation, wasn't it? Like
Nintendo 64.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, goodness. All right, yeah. So,
this is a remaster that came out a few years ago, and it's excellent. I can't recommend it enough. Play this game.
Damn.
It's
okay,
really good.
I'll play it again, because I trust you. All right. I played it on I think Dreamcast is what I had it on. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah. Okay, I'll play it.
It's a fantastic game. It really is.
If I don't like it, I'm going to come to your house, though.
That's fine.
See me outside.
That's fine. You won't be here. I'm not worried about it. Nintendo has joined the Gamescom lineup, so Nintendo will be returning to Gamescom this year. That's pretty cool. I don't need that. What's this? Horizon follow-up has kind of been subtly announced. Quote from Angie Smets, studio director of Guerrilla Games, was promoted and in her blog post writes, expanding the world of Horizon with Aloy's next adventure.
Okay.
Excited.
Which is kind of funny, because aren't they remastering the first game? Wasn't that in a rumor a few weeks ago?
It was a rumor a while back, actually, but I haven't heard anything about it since. So,
Sony announced a Final Fantasy 16 bundle. They're also looking at themed controllers and faceplates. The faceplates and controllers are Japanese exclusive. Pre-orders for the bundle start on May 4th on PlayStation Direct. Gran Turismo 7 got its most recent update, which added 4 new cars, new menus, and new scapes. Your free PlayStation Plus games for the month of May have been announced. Grid Legends, Chivalry 2, and Descenders.
Play that Chivalry.
play it.
All 3 of those games are good. Grid Legends is the most it's a good racing game with nothing special about it.
Yeah, it's a solid racing game. I think I reviewed it.
Yep.
And then Descenders, I absolutely love that game.
Yeah, Descenders is a cool game. I just wish it wasn't.
My son plays that. Are you on a bike?
Yeah, and it's
or
like
something?
randomly generated courses.
Downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah. He plays it on Xbox. Okay.
Yeah. PlayStation VR 2 will soon be available at retail. You forget that was not available at retail. It was only through PlayStation directly.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So it's finally going to be in stores
Now it's going to sell.
where it can sit on shelves and nobody buys it.
Yeah.
Take up space.
The Witcher 3 or The Witcher Season 3 release date revealed.
The final season.
The final season.
I knew it.
What's this say? Volume 1 is June 29th. Volume 2 is July 27th.
Or Liam Hemsworth.
All right, I didn't give him a shot.
I ain't watching that show.
I'm not either.
If the season 4 even gets made, I ain't watching it. So
Oh, that's funny.
Poor Henry Cavill, man. Like, he was Superman, got let go. He was
Yeah,
Geralt, and he
Witcher.
left.
Yeah, but now
all
he's
these
guess-
roles that he wanted so badly, and then he got fired from. I'm waiting for him. I know he's making Warhammer right now. I'm waiting for him to get fired from that halfway through making it.
What is he doing to get fired
I hope
from all this
not.
stuff?
It's like people.
Playing
It's like
Warcraft.
he joins this stuff, and people are like, "Man, it's going to be great to have an enthusiast on the staff for this game or for this show." And then he starts being an enthusiast, and they're like, "No, not like that."
Right. Get the dude out of here. He's doing too much.
I
Yeah.
hope to God for once Games Workshop doesn't fuck something up because
Well.
he's a big fan and he looks the part. He could be a Space Marine. God damn it!
Space
I am
Marine.
so God. I hope that Warhammer ends up being good. Oh,
It
I'm
still
so
makes
excited
me
for that.
mad because he's the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. And
He was
He's
good.
the best Superman in the worst Superman movie.
I like Man of Steel. I'm just going to throw
Man of
that
Steel
out
was
there.
fine.
Man of
was
Steel's
good
a
movie.
bad movie.
No, it is
There-
not.
He's miserable. He's a miserable sack of shit. That is not Superman. That's Batman's thing. It's because Zack Snyder wants to be edgy.
I like
douchebag,
Man of
All
Steel.
his shit. Also, could he force the whole Jesus analogy down our throats more? God, Zack Snyder sucks.
Anthony, when did Zack Snyder hurt you?
When he said that his Batman would get raped in prison, I'm not fucking kidding you.
Wait, what? God.
Okay.
That is when I was like, oh, so this guy's that person. Okay.
Oh man, I like Ben Affleck is a great Batman.
Who kills people?
Yeah.
Thanks for missing the fucking point, man.
I don't
He hasn't
care.
killed people
Did-
since the fucking Golden Age.
The Dark Knight,
God.
Frank Miller, he killed people.
Hey,
That's
let's
a
not
separate
forget
story. that
Keaton
happened.
killed people.
He did.
killed
Happened-
people. He killed people.
Keaton's version's clearly sort of taken its own thing, but like the Batman
pass.
that he wants to tell, but the Batman that the stories that fucking Snyder wanted to tell were only good stories because they had years of stuff where so you had a basis of, oh, this is Batman in this universe. Okay, and then Frank Miller writes The Dark Knight Returns, which changes Batman to an old man against his friend, which is not in the movie, of a long time, and they've ideologically have changed and separated from each other. They do not believe in the same things anymore. And Batman goes up with his fucking, even though he's ripped, older body against a still young Superman. And has to cheat to fucking win. And it's not this big battle in the middle of fucking the city. It's in a fucking alleyway.
Martha.
Martha.
Everybody said Martha. You know, people make fun of that, and that's not even close to the fucking point. Everything Zack Snyder does, he's like, I've read the movies, or he's like, I've read the comics, and I get it. But he doesn't get it. He just sees the panels. He doesn't read the words. Anyways,
Nice.
I fucking don't like Zack Snyder.
I was going to say, he really don't like things. I've liked that movie. It's whatever.
I think they are surface level understandings of what is written on the page. Everything is like, he's Michael Bay. He's Michael Bay, but he actually understands the source material to some extent. I'm like Michael Bay.
Hey,
He's
y'all.
just like, yeah, fucking big robots.
StarCraft research, or StarCraft, oh, there, I got Terrence all up in arms. Star Trek resurgence is out May 23rd.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Okay, I do want to play. I am hyped for Star Trek, but yeah, I did. You said freaking StarCraft, and I was like, oh shit! Like I set up and everything. God dang it!
No, I messed that up. Ghostopia Season 1 launches May 23rd.
Are these games or movies?
These
or
are
TV
games.
shows?
These are games.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Funko Vision 2024 coming to consoles and PC. Pico, Peek and Tear.
So I watched the trailer for that Funko Vision because I was like, what fucking vision does Funko have other than out of two beady eyes? And I still don't know what that is. But
it looks like it's going to be like Lego
Dimensions.
I
Which is
swear
not
to
a bad
God,
thing.
I thought for about 10 seconds too long, I thought, wait, they're making a new version of that fucking firework game?
Oh, Fantavision. You know what,
Yeah.
Ryan? I don't
They
want to
are.
burst your
There is a
bubble.
new one.
There is a new
There
one.
is a new.
That's pathetic.
You didn't love Fantavision, the best PS2 launch game?
I did not love Fantavision, no.
Oh, shit. It ain't far from the best PS2 launch game, because if you remember, that launch was kind of bad.
Yeah, it was rough.
It wasn't
It
very
was
good.
rough.
The best game on the PS2 at launch was the Dreamcast port. I'm just going to throw that out there.
The way Ryan just said, when he was like, there is a new one. He just went, that's pathetic.
That was funny. That's pathetic. Like,
Is it for the
Tell me I'm
VR?
wrong. Tell me it's not pathetic.
no, you're not. It's funny.
And it runs in both, Drew. It runs in both.
Okay.
And Fantavision 2020X.
That's my favorite version.
It's currently $14.99. It's on sale.
Sweet. I'm going to go pick it up after the show. Cassette
Just
Beast.
wait to the 4th of July and watch some fireworks in real life. Don't pay $14.99 for that.
They're not in 4K on my TV.
You're right. They're in a million K because it's happening right in front of your face.
But Ryan, my eyes can't see in 4K. Only my TV.
That's true.
Oh my god.
It's kind of like how I can't see 60 FPS.
K.
Yeah, you can't
I'm
see it.
fucking
Ryan's like,
dying.
was this 60 FPS? I can't tell.
Oh God, I'm dying. Oh God, Ryan, Jesus. Okay, go ahead, man.
Cassette Beasts is out on May 25th for Xbox and Switch. It's already out on PC. Paleo Pines was announced for this fall for Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC. Flashback 2 announced for November, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Armored Core 6 got a release date August 25th. Front Mission 2 Remake, June 12th for Nintendo Switch. Golden Idol Mysteries, The Spider of Lanka launches May 4th.
I
That's
need to play
DLC.
that game.
The
I need to play that game badly.
The Caligula Effect 2 launches fall for PS5. Then we got a couple games that are not coming to Xbox because that's what's a week without games skipping Xbox. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes Definitive Edition is out this summer for everything but Xbox. The reason why this is crazy is because it's already on Xbox. This is a remaster.
Yeah. Like, what the heck?
Yep. So there you go. The other one is Inspector Gadget Mad Time Party. Like, who cares?
Is
But
that
at the
like
same
a-
time, like,
Is
why?
that
kinda
a
mad.
Mario Party ass
Yes.
game? Like I
It's an
don't.
Inspector
Oh
Gadget
my-
Mario Party game.
What a weird license to throw on that. I hope there's an unlockable skin so I can play as the Matthew Broderick version.
Nobody wants that. Asura the Striker for PC. It's coming in 2023. Grindstone is getting an Xbox version on May 3rd. And Stuntfest Rivals got renamed to Jected Rivals and launches as a free-to-play game, early access on May 4th on Steam. Whew. All right. Time for some numbers. Microsoft's Q3 2023 earnings. Xbox hardware revenue down 30%. Wonder why. Gaming revenue down 4%. Again, wonder why. Content and services up 3%. And subscriptions made nearly $1 billion in Q3. So,
Jesus Christ, that's just one quarter?
one
My
quarter is $1
God.
billion on subscription services. Wolong Fallen Dynasty did well. We don't have numbers. Wild Hearts also did well. No numbers. Both of those games, by the way, on Game Pass. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse sold 120,000 copies. This is why we don't get Fatal Frame games.
This would be why. Jesus.
Oh. In comparison, Atlar Ryza 3 sold 300,000.
Jesus.
Did you read Jay's review? There's a reason why these games sell.
Horny people.
Look at the last screenshot in Jay's review.
I mean, one of the things that I remember when I was on Twitter, a friend of mine mentioned that it's funny how they keep going through the series and her thighs keep getting bigger.
Bigger and bigger. Dead Island 2 sold more than 1 million copies in its first 3 days. Nier Automata has sold 7.5 million copies worldwide. Sonic Frontiers has sold over 3.2 million as of March. Persona 5 Royale has sold over 1.7 million. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection topped 1 million copies already.
Nice.
Probably would have sold like 1.0000001 million if they'd put it on Xbox.
It's true.
Yeah.
Honkai Star Rail surpassed 20 million downloads after day one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the one that's made by the Genshin Impact guys, right?
Which the story came out. Yeah, it is. And also the story came out again this week. Did you know Genshin Impact was offered to Microsoft as an Xbox exclusive
Yeah,
and
no,
they turned it
I
down?
posted that in the Discord, yeah.
That and Spider-Man
Yep.
are things Microsoft passed on, so...
Wait, hold on. Spider-Man was passed on by...
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound right.
Nope, that is
back in
100%.
No, yeah.
That's true.
When was this?
Before Sony and Insomniac did the first game.
Here's the reason why I don't believe that, and it's strictly because Sony has the movie license rights to Spider-Man, and I just can't see them being okay. Like, there had to be a deal made to get Spider-Man in the MCU, and I feel like
There you go.
the Spider-Man game is based off of. Okay, all right.
Yep.
That's
That is
very
100%
weird.
true, and Microsoft regrets that to this day, I'm sure.
That's so bizarre. I literally thought for the longest time, like, that makes sense. If Sony got to make their own Spider-Man game, sort of Spider-Man be console exclusive for most stuff, I'm like, well, that's because Sony and Disney have to play and get along right now. But
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Wolong,
Although, let's be honest, the Xbox version would have been the 7 out.
Wow. Yeah,
It would have been
Microsoft's
co-op
strategy was to
multiplayer.
focus on their own IP. Apparently, I was reading that article and they passed. So, what IP were they focusing on in 2014 that they passed on Spider-Man?
oh, I'm
Like,
sure.
what the
I'm
hell?
sure it was a banger.
Hold on.
I do have numbers for Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Shipments and digital sales surpassed 1 million. They also surpassed 3.8 million players, which means 2.8 million people playing that game are playing on Game Pass. Which is kind of crazy.
Nice. Yeah.
High on Life has reached 7.5 million players now, making it the most successful third-party Game Pass game. PlayStation 5 shipments topped 38.4 million worldwide. They topped their forecast of 6.2 million last quarter. Their revenue is up 33%, and quarter one revenue up 61.3% year over year.
Okay, so I looked.
The way you said forecast, I was barely paying attention. I thought you said forecast. I was like, forecast?
What the hell's a forecast?
So I decided I'd look up
Forecast over there.
to see what Microsoft had going on in 2014. Minecraft. Remember how Titanfall was an exclusive? They got Forza Horizon 2 and Killer Instinct Season 2 and Halo: The Master Chief Collection. Remember how they still are working on that fucking game?
I think the
Yeah.
latest patch is out this week, right?
Sunset Overdrive, which
Hey, that's
was
a
made
great
by
game.
Insomniac when they were not held down by Sony, and
Well, but
that's
see, that-
kind of it. Oh, sorry, D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die.
Part 1, wasn't it? Weren't there supposed to be like 3 parts, and
Yeah,
they never finished it?
and they canceled it. Yeah,
It wasn't even just Spider-Man. Marvel was going with them for, well, it was Spider-Man, but they were going with them for a deal of, like, Marvel games. Like, and then they went to Activision, was like, give us back the Spider-Man license, we go into Sony. Like, why would they?
it was clearly because Microsoft was putting all their eggs into Project Spark.
That's what it is. Yeah, Project Spark. Gonna be that Spider-Man killer.
Young Conquer is the greatest game ever made.
No, Young Conquer is
Yeah.
the
The AR
glasses.
game, the glasses
Yeah,
game.
that was just a bad Conquer game in Project Spark.
Conquer's other bad fur day.
Connect
when Microsoft
Sports
turned down Marvel.
Rivalry.
Conquer ain't had a good fur day in like 15 years.
It's been longer than that, Ryan.
Really hasn't.
It's been longer than that.
That's true.
The last time that Conquer
23.
was relevant was Xbox Live. Was it Live and Reloaded?
Yeah, what year did that come out?
That had to.
Hold
That's the original Xbox, so that had to be
Oh,
like
it was original
2003
Xbox,
or
wasn't it?
2004, probably.
2000.
So
2005.
almost 20 years.
Yeah.
2005. So
Wow.
Whew.
Okay, well, so rewind and revise that joke to say 20 years.
All right, let's talk about the Microsoft Activision Blizzard thing.
Speaking of fucking, we're trying to focus on our catalog.
So the CMA blocked the deal. Microsoft's already working on an appeal. They were out on Twitter crying like Jim Ryan.
Why does the Country Music Awards care about this?
Oh, shit. They also said...
You don't know, but Garth Brooks is a big Sony pony.
They also said, quote, "The last word isn't spoken. The UK is clearly closed for business."
It sounded like some incel on a
It
Final
sounded like
Fantasy message board.
It sounded like Jordan Peterson when he got kicked off of Twitter.
Christ.
Yeah,
There will
going
be prices
the most.
to pay. Like, will there?
Final Fantasy.
All right, this is not the last time you're going to hear from me. Okay?
Okay. Oh, God, this deal. Like, when I heard... So, like, my heart sank when I saw the news, like, this could push the litigation and the part of this deal into 2024. I was like, oh, Jesus, no.
Yeah,
Jesus, God,
right?
no.
I just be done.
I'm
Like,
kind of at the point where I just kind of want Microsoft to just fucking eat it and leave. I know that sounds bad, but I'm just so done with them. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
This is annoying. This is you're not focusing on your own fucking audience at this point.
I mean,
Like-
that's kind of clear with Redfall. Oh, God. What did I just
I
say?
mean, right? The truth. That's what you said.
Ugh.
Like,
Hey, make sure you don't release this podcast until 8 p.m. tomorrow evening.
I won't. Don't worry. I won't. I should upload it with a funky name, see if anybody finds it. Oh, okay. Just a one-off bullet
just say
point.
it's an Anthony Solo show. No one will listen.
That's true. I just put it up, be like, Anthony Solo Podcast. Download now. 3 hours.
Got 3 hours.
The Asus Rogue Ally, or how you say that? ROG? R-O-G? I don't know my acronym.
Yeah, ROG.
It will be under $1,000, comes with 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. An event is set for May 11th where they plan to announce the release date and pricing. The rumor is that the Ally model with an AMD Z1 Extreme will cost $699.99.
Yeah, and there's another model that's also launching at $599.99 is also the rumor.
So Steam Deck getting
Yeah, I
some
want one of those.
competition.
Yep.
I know you keep
Yeah,
telling me you want me to get you a free one. You didn't build your community enough to
mean-
get one.
Well, that's
The
what
question-
that's what I've been out here doing.
Oh.
I'm out here trying to grind this community
Oh
so
my
I can get.
Hey, maybe if you focus more on growing your community than complaining
what it
about
is.
Redfall,
Well, I mean,
you'd get a
Right.
free one.
You're
you
right.
grow your community to use them as a resource to then grind into energy that gets you that. Basically, you
That's
need
the
a sacrifice.
orphan crushing machine
Yeah.
all over again.
That is what this is.
I need
This-
to build up an audience so I can abuse their goodwill and sell them a piece of shit. So that way I get stuff for
Go ahead and start getting your apology video ready.
Yeah. Need your yellow background with the black text.
Oh man.
The first batch of songs for the upcoming Samba de Amigo Party Central have been announced from artists such as Ariana Grande, Carly Rae Jepsen, Nicki Minaj, Miley Cyrus, Pitbull, Steve Aoki, and more.
I'm not going to fucking Samba de Amigo to fucking play pop songs. I'm going there to play my favorite Sega classic songs.
Well, you can still do
Assholes.
that on the Dreamcast.
I want to dance to Phantasy Star Online music.
Nobody
I kid
wants to
because I
do
don't
that.
actually. Yeah, I don't like Phantasy Star.
I have that music is like embedded in my brain from how much time we spent in the lobby partying up in that game.
Like, let me dance to Outrun music.
Moon Rover Games, founded by devs who worked on Far Cry, Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and The Division.
Okay,
Sega of America has unionized.
I love this name.
Uh,
Aegis.
What was
Takes
that?
egg. Aegis.
Aegis? Is it Aegis?
I think it's Aegis because it's like how you. I think it's supposed to be an AE sort of shape because that's how the original. It's a shield.
What if they called it
In original.
Sega Aegis?
Well, that's what their thing is. It takes Aegis to be this good.
That's right. That's right. Alan Wake 2 is in the last major of full production. Control 2 and Max Payne 1 and 2 remake moved into proof of concept.
Okay.
I could do without the Max Payne remakes.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I'm going to play it because I love those games, but
Yeah,
I don't have to have it.
That's the reality is like, as much as like, yeah, those older games do show their age model wise, they still play like a just over the top shooter anyways. I had a good time. I played them less than a decade ago again.
According to LinkedIn, lead game designer of Elden Ring, the DLC Shadow of the Erd Tree has been in development since April of 2022. I hear that's bigger. That DLC is bigger than the main game, and I'm just like, dude.
They are that crazy studio that would do something like that.
They are.
Jesus,
yeah.
that game. Okay,
that game is huge. So
yeah.
Microids will publish a Totally Spies game in 2024 for consoles and PC.
Sure. That was a thing.
I didn't even know what that was.
Cartoon?
Yeah,
I didn't even know what that was when somebody said they were making a game out of it. I'm like, never heard of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a pretty decent TV show. Had a good sense of humor.
Yeah,
but it was made by this weird studio that. I was gonna say it's a French studio, and then I think they had like a Canadian tie-in or something like that. Because I used to watch this on. They had another show called Martin Mystery. That was pretty good as well.
Sorry. And somebody says
went back to the 90s real quick.
Yeah,
I do the same thing now.
I mean, that song is embedded in my brain.
That theme song? Yeah. The Martin theme song? Yeah.
I just hear it. Steam desktop version got an update, new overlay placement, note features, and screenshot options, etc. Vampire Survivors animated TV series is in the works at Story Kitchen.
I feel like we're just okay.
Isn't that just Castlevania? Like at some point,
it's not even that. Like, what story are you gonna tell?
Exactly.
But yeah, how do you?
The game is just me watching numbers move.
Episode 2, garlic.
You know what? If they present it as different people trying different things to get through, and only one of them, that's pretty good. But I don't think that's how they're gonna do it.
According to Ubisoft China, Trackmania for Xbox and PlayStation launches on May 4th. Okay. Mario Brothers movie passed $1 billion.
Good.
And it was on Twitter for hours yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it.
So
it was on Reddit too?
Yeah, somebody did it on Reddit as well.
Like, my God. What are we doing?
I'm looking for that fucking Hot Wheels still. I still want their little
doing
bus.
the Lord's work.
I guess. I got an email from Eeyore Kara.
Is it one of those?
I don't know. I haven't read it yet. So
okay.
I'm just gonna dive in. It says, "Hey yo, it's Eeyore Kara. I'm surprised my name didn't come up last week when you guys mentioned about uploading to Pornhub. I'm very disappointed."
That is on everybody else.
He says, "However, please do the upload. That would be great. A lot easier and convenient for me. However, what category would you guys upload to? Maybe put it under the category face sitting."
Never mind. I was about to make a joke and
there you go. The deck works.
Nothing.
You got nothing?
Nothing. Oh my God.
Okay.
I was gonna say the joke was gonna be fucked by life, but never mind. The face sitting threw me off. Wow.
Hey, I'm really going to miss E3. It really used to be Christmas for gamers. I always loved the rivalries between Sony and Microsoft. Kind of reminds me of WWF, WCW Monday Night Wars. The Sony...
It wasn't like Christmas. We don't get shit.
It was like Christmas. It was Christmas.
Yeah, it's not like
Christmas.
Christmas.
Of announcements. Look at all these cool games coming for Christmas. The Sony 199 moment was epic. Their giant enemy crab press was wild. The amazing PS4 presser, Microsoft's used games messaging, Link riding a horse video, the Wii U presser, so many ups and downs, all the craziness. Sadly, we will never ever have something like that again. It's just so wild and fun.
Yeah, my favorite thing is the guy who is a drummer who was playing the
Robbie
lead drums.
Drums.
And he was sitting there. There's just a gif of him like shaking the nunchuck and the controller, and him looking around almost as if he has no idea what he's doing. I need to find that.
I tried to search for Robbie Drums and I couldn't. Oh, there he is! Boom.
There it is.
Wii Music, man.
Miyamoto
music.
came out and played a saxophone on the Wii.
Oh,
remote.
man, what was that game that I reviewed for the Wii that was like a band game?
The Wii band
Oh,
game.
man.
I know
Band Hero?
No, that was part
Band
of the
Hero was
Guitar
Guitar
Hero
Hero.
stuff.
What was it? God damn it.
The marching band
Terrible
game?
game.
Oh no.
How come they never brought that trumpet game to the consoles or like a phone or something? Remember that one?
Ultimate Band. That's what it was. Ultimate Band.
A Trumpet Hero that came out a little bit ago on Steam.
Yeah, Trumpet
Hero's great.
Hero. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
They should have brought that to consoles.
We should.
The Take On Me video that was redone in Trumpet Hero is a masterpiece. Also, One Winged Angel.
We watched the Mario movie. Fucking fantastic. Just made me feel happy from start to end. Love it. My daughter and I love Minecraft. Number of hours is 1,100. I wish they upgraded for current hardware. Ray tracing would be major. P.S. What happened to ray tracing? Remember when it was all anyone ever talked about, and now it's pretty much dead. So odd.
Yeah, well. A bunch of less than satisfactory implementations is what happened.
Well, these consoles can't
Yep.
handle it at 60 FPS, and
Right.
nobody turns it on. So
Here we go.
what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. He says
If Rock Band had a sibling.
if
I'm just
Yeah.
reading Ryan's fucking.
Oh, you're reading my review? Yeah, of Ultimate Band. My favorite part of that game is that if you're the lead singer, there's no mechanism in it to sing, so you just play a tambourine, basically.
Nice.
needs more cowbell.
Yeah, there were some parts of that actually weren't bad for like baby's first Rock Band
Yeah,
simulator.
except that all the characters look like they're out of Psychonauts.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah,
not a good thing.
no.
He says, loving the soundboard, guys. It actually makes us laugh so much, especially when you guys time it right. I just wish you guys would find a way to use the full
When you
metal...
actually are getting like wood and stuff, like you can come
Stop.
off the ship.
Makes me wish you could find a way to use the Full Metal Jacket soundboard. And I guess it's no Eeyore Car email without this. Say the first thing that comes to mind with this list of words.
No.
All right, you ready?
No.
Gambus fantasy book.
Nope.
Gambus fantasy book.
Gambus
Yeah, the fantasy book that he's writing.
that he's been writing
Oh.
for like 25 years.
It's something to do with vampires, doesn't it?
Lesbian vampires, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it lesbian vampires? Okay.
I mean, he
Okay.
distinctly made that, distinction. So, Canadian real estate agents. What the fuck?
Anthony's gonna have to weigh in on that one.
Anthony is just,
This is because I was playing the Yakuza game doing the real estate thing.
Yep.
Got it.
Deserted island. Wilson.
Dessert.
Wilson. There ain't no ducks on this island. What are you talking about? God damn it! I gotta read these next two. I gotta read these next two, and you're just gonna have to roll with it. Big boobies. There you go.
there you go.
What?
When you actually are getting like wood and stuff, like you can come off the ship.
Oh.
Next one up is hanging boobies.
Okay.
What is he?
Hey, yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Oh. God damn it. World peace.
Huh. Looks like we're torn.
There's like 6 sound effects, and y'all just can't use them for every word. Come on now. Oh, shit.
World peace unattainable. How about that?
That's probably true. This one's a Ryan one. Cody Rhodes. There you go. God damn it.
He gets both a clap and a wah 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 for his performance at WrestleMania.
Oh, this next one, I swear to God, if y'all don't exactly say the same word all at the same time, I'm gonna be disappointed. Halo.
Reach?
No, you're supposed to go.
Ah!
You're supposed to go dead.
Dead. Halo
Dead.
dead.
Halo is dead.
I was gonna say
What'd you
sad, but close enough.
Super Mario.
Brothers.
They have the song from the cartoon in the movie.
Captain Lou Albano with his.
Is
with
it
his
the
Super Mario.
is it
So
do
that
the-
intro is in the movie. Like
Is
it's
it
part
do
of their
the-
commercial.
No, it's not do the Mario.
Yeah.
No, it's the rap.
I got it.
Yeah, the rap. Yeah.
The intro to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah, Do the Mario is the credits.
Yeah, that's what he does at the end.
That's what credits are.
Also, the Mario is just walking.
Shut up. Just for those people that may not have known. But go ahead. What did they do?
The Mario is just walking.
Oh, fuck. Oh. Sliders, the TV show.
Like what?
I don't.
What?
No, I did the one where it warps his voice.
Nathan Drake. Squeezy
Started.
holes.
That is the version, Drew.
Where it warps.
Where every time he warps, the audio warps to where he is.
Well, no. The one where I'm talking about is the one where every time he warps, he it slows down. And at the end, he's just like, Brother Mario.
No, I love the one where it's like he's in the background, so you can just faintly
Barely
hear
hear him.
it.
Yeah.
Loaded PS1 game. When you say
Loaded.
that, all I hear is squish. That game was
I
very
just
This clown
boring.
face guy is the only person I can think of from
I
that
can
game.
just green slime. Isn't that what the cover is, or is that no? That's
No.
PO.
No,
That's
Loaded
PO.
is the clown guy.
Yeah, it's like a top-down game where it's just
Oh,
blood everywhere.
yeah.
They
okay.
made a sequel.
Yeah, no.
It was called Reloaded. I love
Whatever.
Loaded.
That, wow.
Made by Metallica.
Metallica. Yeah.
And the last word is ass.
Hole.
Thank you. Thank you. Really loving the podcast, guys. Been listening since 2009, maybe 2008. I think my first email was in 2009. Show has evolved so much and many times. Just want to say I love the current crew. Great discussions, great points of view, and enjoyable. Life's too short. Love games. Love boobs.
There you go.
All right.
Give that man a round of applause.
I mean, go ahead. You got the power just like all of us.
You're right. Man, you got a lot of whole just pointing out me saying obvious stuff today. Kid over there with credit to her.
When you
Terrence.
actually
This man,
getting,
you
like,
got the power.
bored and stuff, like, you can come off the shit.
All right, I got a couple tweets to go through. Curtis wants to know, what the hell is going on with Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, and the CMA? It's been drama after drama for Xbox and their gamers for the past few weeks. You know what it is? It's a giant buffet of L's.
Yeah.
I was about to say
God.
they've stuffed themselves full of L's and taken a big shit on us. That's what's happening.
Yep.
Get ready for Redfall, launching Tuesday.
I guess that's don't put all your eggs in one basket, unfortunately.
Oh man, they're so bad. Like, I'm not all in on
Especially if you don't even own the basket.
Yeah, if you don't even have the basket yet.
Here's the thing. I don't think Xbox is doomed. Like so many people out there, like Xbox is done and they're finished. No, they're not. They spent $1 billion in revenue like last quarter for services.
Yeah.
They're not done. But holy shit, they can't keep this up for another year. They can't.
No.
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 No. And I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
No, I've always thought Starfield was going to be like their kickoff. Like Redfall's always just been like, it could be good.
Whatever.
It's probably
Yeah.
going to be,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you this.
Starfield is there.
If Starfield
Last of Us.
sucks,
For... Oh God. Yeah.
Starfield, so we already know what we're getting into. We're getting a Bethesda game, which means we're going to have some crazy open world jank and stuff like that. But if this game ships broken and doesn't work, if this game ships like Fallout 76, that could ruin them.
I mean, Starfield is like the only game that's going to keep them afloat this year. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, because they don't have anything else, right?
Forza,
Unless they announce
how
something
many
at the
times do I
showcase.
have to say Forza?
Nigga, they can, because you know why you keep saying it? Because they be like, we got Forza coming, and they never give you a date. They
That's
did
what
that
I
little
have to say to
showcase
that.
thing and didn't even give us a date for it.
Eat my ass with fucking Forza. Like, is it Horizon? No, then I don't give a shit, and most people don't. That's a very specific
true,
audience
too.
for
Yeah, I
that
think
game.
Horizon
It's like
is-
Gran Turismo. Nobody gives a shit anymore unless you're really into simulators, because that's how fucking difficult those games are.
Well,
So
you just asked for another game. That's all. Jesus Christ.
Fucking,
no.
yeah,
I did.
Where
You're
did
right.
Forza
I did.
hurt
It's like
you?
saying,
Delivered.
hold on. That's like saying, like, Flight Simulator. Oh, wow. Let me
I mean, we did
learn
do
to
that.
fly
We did
fucking
do that
plane?
when we were trying to
I know,
convince
I
ourselves
know, and it was
Microsoft had
boring.
games last year.
And it was boring. And look at that. Everybody was like, I crashed the plane to my house, and then I was done. Yeah, pretty much.
I landed in
You-
my backyard, and then I
You
turned it
you
off.
literally just named my experience.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Man, I didn't
I
crash.
flew through Kings Island.
Nice.
No, I literally
Nice.
like I found my house and flew my plane into my house. That's
I'm
all
gonna
I
have
did.
to do that. I didn't even do
And
that with that game.
completely uninstalled it after that.
Well, I mean, the thing takes up
Nice.
like 150 gigabytes.
Yeah, it's
so
100 and
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
It's huge.
massive. It's
Huge.
massive.
The amount of people that went to Epstein's Island was impressive.
I don't even know where that's at. So maybe that's
I
just
don't know
more about
either.
those people.
But those people were like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fly a plane and land.
That's cool. I'm glad you want to go there for that. Okay. He also says, Anthony, I too think most of PlayStation's IPs are overrated, especially Spider-Man. The story was meh. Gameplay and side missions were repetitive. Also, God of War 2018 and the Horizon games. The Last of Us 1, Uncharted 2, and Infamous 1 are PlayStation's best games.
I agree. I really miss the time of Infamous. God of War
2018 is a masterpiece. That
is
game
your
is
piece.
incredible.
Yeah, I really like that one. But it's just like
Ragnarok is also a masterpiece, unlike what some people on this show may believe.
Okay, Pony. Okay, Pony.
I just am tired of being miserable with video games, I guess is kind of the thing. And Infamous didn't make me feel that way. Uncharted wasn't my type of game, but that's a totally different can of worms. It really is just like, they have their audience, and that's fine. I mean, look at Xbox's output. What audience do they have?
Grounded.
What
and
games
Sea of
do they
Thieves.
have?
Those are their
Yeah.
audiences.
What games do they have is the other question, right? So it's like, I get it. Clearly, Nintendo's kind of making games that I'm more into. So, it happens. It is just depressing, though,
the
that
big
when...
thing is, I've played more probably, like, if you talk about first-party games over the past year and a half, I've probably played more Nintendo first-party games than anything.
Everybody has played more Nintendo first-party games than anything.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But I look at PS2 era, and they continued that into the PS3 era, and I don't know when the exact
I
PlayStation
disagree. I don't think they
became-
continued it. I think they got
They did
back
for a
to
while.
it. I think they got back to it because when it launched, it was all that fucking layer and
I mean,
Genji and-
every fucking console when it launched at that time had shit.
But that's what I'm saying is like PS3 didn't get back to the PS2 stuff
We
until
didn't
like,
have-
towards the end.
We didn't have shit, right? Like, so I don't know. It's one of those. But regardless, like they did have their ratcheting stuff, and it felt like they were at least still being made with some idea of what the series was. But they moved away from that over became more
The
serious
last time
in
they
nature.
gave Twisted Metal the time of day was on the PS3.
Yeah, and it's just like all this stuff is like gone. And I don't know. It's like, what can we make prestige sort of, games that will be called masterpieces? But it's like, yeah, but the stories are masterpieces. The games are just very good in most cases. God of War being an exception, I think the game played extremely well. But like, I don't know. It's one of those weird things where it's like, it's weird for me to go the time where I started to branch away from just things that friends played or whatever, and see that a lot of these franchises, there's Sony had that I loved, nothing to them anymore. For a series that don't do anything.
I'm still excited for Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man's story, but that comes from the fact of I would have read that too. Did I need to play a game for that? Probably. Is it one of the better Spider-Man games? Absolutely. Best open world Spider-Man.
Are you like covering the mic every 2 seconds? Is it just me?
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Am I cutting out? Okay, I'm not trying to. I think Spider-Man is the best since Web of Shadows, and Web of Shadows wasn't as good as 2, but that was a good game. And those are the open world, but it's just, yeah, I didn't need a game to play it, and I felt the fighting was kind of meh.
I don't know.
Still a great game. I'd still probably give it 8.5 to 9. Like, that's how good that story is and the acting is. And then they changed his face, and I could never look at that game series.
I'm trying to think, like, I don't know that Sony could announce one of their current big games that I would get excited for. Like, I'm excited for Spider-Man. Wolverine will probably be very cool. If they announced Horizon 3, I could probably take a nap. God of War only.
Shut up, man. You're a hater.
I'm bored, man. She's so boring.
She is not boring.
She is extremely boring.
She is not
He
boring.
really is, though. The game is beautiful.
not.
Everything
Listen,
around
Ryan, you
her
know
is
you're my
interesting.
dude, and I rock with you, but she's pretty boring, my guy.
She is not boring. She has her own personality.
A boring one. That's it. Okay, all right, it's fine.
I think the things that happen around Aloy are far more interesting. Like the history that puts Aloy where she is, and like her discovering it, she's kind of your proxy.
Yeah,
right?
but that's the whole point of her character in the game is that she is torn between being able to be the person that she actually is and the fact that she was quite literally created for one specific purpose. And the tension between those two things is a core part of the games. And y'all just willfully ignore it.
I don't ignore it. I fell asleep. My bad.
Here's my argument against that, Ryan. I love that part of the game. I've wanted to stop playing the game just so I could play the story. I need to turn the story mode on into. I was like so frustrated with the combat.
Just go watch it on YouTube.
No, Ken. I'm not that person. Okay.
So check this out. I just saw a tweet. There's a huge Jedi Survivor Chamber Challenge glitch that will get players stuck with the only solution to completely start the game over.
Jesus Christ.
Completely start the game over.
Yeah, so those challenges return in Jedi Survivor, like the purple things you go to, and then like you have to do like fight so many stormtroopers or those kind of things. Apparently there's one, which I'm glad I didn't find that one. Like I did like 3 or 4 of those and I didn't get stuck. So if I'd had to start that game over, I wouldn't even have reviewed it. I'd have been like, nah, I'm good.
Man.
Yeah, that game's kind of messed up.
It's a masterpiece, guys.
I was just about to say, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
Masterpiece, 5 out of 5. Perfect game.
Well, has any of the Sony games launched as broken as this? I can't think of one.
So the closest thing was Horizon Forbidden West was extremely broken, but the day one patch literally fixed everything.
Yeah, so that's another thing I'll give Sony is that like
their shit's polished, man.
Their shit's polished, man.
Like there's one you can't. I can't think. Like Days Gone was probably the worst of their
technically,
games.
yeah, and even that I didn't nearly. People, not saying those people have it, but I felt people dogged on that game even before, and then just I feel like went out trying to look fucking that shit.
I think your mic is giving
justify
up
Like
for this
now,
podcast.
I think your mic is like it's tapping out. It's like you need to get
Maybe
off.
I'm
brother.
just talking more quiet. Sorry, I don't know.
No, you're
actually
fine. I'm
getting,
not.
like
You're just
wood
good.
and stuff. Like you can come off the ship.
Oh, I bet you're so glad I uploaded that.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna find something for y'all. I'm gonna find something for everybody.
I've been waiting
I'm
on
about
y'all to
listen
send
it.
me some more
Hours of tape.
sound effects to upload to it, and nobody's like. I was thinking like get some of the Mega Man sound effects, like when you get a weapon or some shit. I could do that.
all night. Yeah, I'm gonna find some sound effects. I'm
Yeah.
gonna find some. I need
Send
to
me
find
some of
quotes
them-
for y'all.
Send me some of them MP3. We've been doing this too long.
You can just make us administrators and we can do it ourselves.
I thought I did.
He
No.
don't want to give us the power. He was like, nah.
I'll
y'all
be
don't
afraid
need
of
all
what
that.
you might do.
hmm
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Oh, anyway. All right, I think that's all I got.
Okay.
I think. I'll make sure no more news, no more tweets. I'm gonna check the inbox one more time. Nope, nothing in the
I got a
inbox.
weird one. Somebody ported Zelda's Adventure, the CDI game, to the Game Boy.
Why?
No, why?
To make a game that works, I guess. I don't know. They like
What?
ported the whole
Nice.
thing. It looks like an official Zelda game. It's very.
So they changed the game, is what you're saying?
I mean, they had to because graphically you'd have to change it to work on the original Game Boy. But it looks like Zelda. It looks like the sprite work from like Link's Awakening, and it's sort of the same game
But I
somehow.
want those cutscenes.
From Zelda's Adventure,
Hell
there are
yeah,
no
the-
cutscenes.
Well, I want the voice work because the voice work was so bad.
Oh, the voice work is even worse. People think like, I get so hungry, I can knock.
Dude, the
Zelda's
voice work-
Adventure is even
What
worse.
about the narrator lady's like, Zelda, wake up.
Oh, it's so. I've only ever watched gameplay because I'm like, I don't think I can make. I've never seen the ending.
That's the only CDI games I have loaded on RetroArch is the two.
Fucking awful.
two
Hotel
Zeldas.
Mario.
No, I don't have Hotel Mario on there because it's kind of boring.
Yeah, but it's also a fucking game.
You just close doors.
It's a game still.
I mean, so is Zelda. It's a bad game, but it's a game.
Hotel Mario feels like a Game and Watch game.
I don't know, man. Hotel Mario is literally just closing doors that wigglers are constantly opening, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, well, fucking
That wigglers are
Wigglers.
constantly opening.
Wigglers.
Wigglers, you don't know what a
What?
wiggler is?
I thought I did. I
Big
don't
caterpillar thing.
Yeah.
Big caterpillar with big nose.
Yeah. Got a smile face
okay.
on?
You know what? Oh man, and maybe it's just that I'm old and my memory doesn't. Because when
actually
y'all were
get,
like naming
wood and stuff,
Ze-
like you can come
I
off
hear
the ship.
so much because y'all were naming Zelda enemies, and I was like, damn, I don't know the proper names of any of these things. I just kill them. Like the
know-
floaty one. Like he was.
You know what the snakes are called in Zelda?
No.
Ropes.
You know what the bats are called?
Keys.
Peace.
You guys are nerds.
Give me another one.
All right.
Give me
Well,
another one,
anyway.
bitch.
What about the blue and red guys? I don't want to say because it like
With
the
robes?
knights in the first one. The knights.
Oh, Dark Nut.
Dark Nut.
Wow.
Don't know why they're called that, but
Nice.
What
Because they're
about
hard to crack.
the rabbits with the whiskers?
yeah. Pole's voice.
Well, yeah, Pole's voice.
We nerds up in here.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't know any of those. That I know Goombas.
What's the?
I know Koopas. I know the Lagutus.
What's
The thing that
Lakitu?
drops the thing off the Lagitu. Yeah, I know that.
What's the name of the leech thing that eats your shield?
Like.
Damn straight.
Like
What's the name of the
Y'all are on
zombies in
another level.
Ocarina of Time?
Redead.
Redead, yeah.
What's the mummy version?
Mummy Redead.
Close enough.
what's the hand? The hand that takes you back to the beginning of the dungeon.
Oh god, Wallmaster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wall Master.
I actually have to look up. I don't remember the name of the.
Parents, these are all in the instruction manual. They tell you in the instruction manual the name of every
Gibdo.
enemy.
Gibdo is
I never read it. I never looked at the instruction manual. I didn't know all of these names that y'all were rattling off. I didn't know none of these. And I've played Zelda. I beat Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, all of that. I didn't know their names.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh, I love me some Zelda.
Sad part is if I go through it mentally, I could probably name all the monsters you fight in Ocarina of Time in order.
Wow.
There's a dungeon
Perfect.
in the first Zelda that's shaped like a swastika.
That was
Oh
moved
shit.
in
Really?
later versions. Yeah, but the swastika it's a squared off, which is actually the original Buddhist symbol.
It is. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But you look at
I
it,
didn't
and the
know
first
that.
thing you think in your head is, "Oh, damn."
Right.
Doesn't help that one of the later ones is a skull. Yeah.
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 Anyway, that's this long ass show that will be going up at 8 p.m. So, you know,
Keep you up at night.
Stay up late.
stay up
It's
late
the
and
only-
listen
stay
to
up late.
this
Skip over
garbage.
the
Bitch about Redfall.
There was a person
Yeah.
one time that said they got laid listening to this podcast. Maybe that next time can.
Yeah, I remember somebody sent an email about that, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I still don't believe them. I was a
don't
listener at that time.
yeah.
Oh yeah, somebody said that they here's where I called the bullshit. Somebody said that they got laid listening to this podcast, right? They had put it on or whatever. I think it was even a threesome. Correct me if I'm wrong, Drew.
Can't
Jesus.
remember. I don't think it was
remember
that.
that part.
I do
Wait,
remember
hold
that.
on.
I
Here's
remember
where it
they-
gets.
Well, go ahead.
They put the podcast on, and somebody went, "Is this N4G radio?"
Yes.
That's where
That's
it
where
immediately
where they
goes.
lost
That's a
It's
fucking
bullshit.
lie.
Lie detector determined. That
Yeah.
was a lie.
They ain't nobody doing that. Like, you can play this thing for the full 3 hours, and people are like, what is this trash?
What's that static rumblings?
Why is the dude's mic broken all the time?
And what the fuck is that duck?
What? He's doing what?
When you actually are
A
getting
duck
like wood and
podcast?
stuff, like you can come off the ship.
Whatever. This is the best show out here. Y'all know it.
When you actually are getting like wood and stuff, like you can come off the ship.
All right, that's it.
Yeah,
for the
all right.
show. If you
Ain't
want to
nobody
follow
getting laid
me,
to this podcast.
oh yeah, I just ruined it for you. It's over. If you want to send us an email, it's podcast at ztgd.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's ZTGD Radio. Or is it ZTGD Podcast? I can't remember.
I don't know. It's something.
This is
Some
podcast.
bullshit. Ain't nobody listening to this anymore. You're reading Twitter handles to nobody right now.
ZTGD
They already
Podcast.
turned it off.
And you can follow me at ZTGD, Drew at DML Fury, Terrace at Lord Magnus, Ryan at Wombat RP, and then Anthony, you can follow in your dreams. Phoenix Down, you mentioned earlier, but just to recap, what's the next game?
It's going to be Finding Paradise.
Almost paradise.
Yep.
Does they play
But,
Paradise City?
I don't think so.
Like Burnout Paradise? Like every time you boot the game?
Oh fuck! Annoying ass. You just hear the guitar like, and you're like, "Please God, get me through, get me through, get me through."
Why
Get
can't
me
you
through before I have to
load
song.
faster?
Yeah, but we're probably going to be taking a week off. So this week we will not have a show.
You're not going to
But,
record while you're in the hotel, are you?
Yeah.
You're going to... Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Drew,
It's not going to sound any worse than this fucking podcast.
No. What I'm
My
saying
mic
is-
cutting is shit.
What I'm saying is, and Ryan will understand this with me, Drew's going to trust hotel Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, you don't want to trust
Yeah, no.
hotel Wi-Fi.
That shit
Hotel Wi-Fi is awful.
is like, dude, you might as well go back and like dial up. Like hotel
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is the worst.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it may be a nightmare. It may not be. We'll see.
Your password is always your room number plus your last name. Oh,
Great.
shit. I hate hotels. They're so fucking gross. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's it for the show. So we get out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.